Illinois Wesleyan Titan basketball pregame show in 90 seconds from Mark. Illinois Wesleyan basketball pregame show begins in 60 seconds from Mark. Illinois Wesleyan pregame show coming up in 30 seconds from Mark. $20, 15, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. History for Illinois Wesleyan basketball. One top 25 team takes on another that's knocking on the door to the national rankings in this pivotal CCIW matchup. Live from Denny Bridges Court at Shirk Center at Illinois Wesleyan University, this is Illinois Wesleyan Titan basketball on 88.1 FM, WBSN, IWSports.com, and the CCIW network. The 17th ranked Illinois Wesleyan Titans play host to the Vikings from North Park University. Good afternoon, I'm Eric Stock along with Joel Swanson. Glad to have you with us today for this key conference matchup. And Joel, North Park has had some really good teams in recent years. Illinois Wesleyan's had a few, but what's exciting about this is we have both teams at or near the top of their games at the same time going head-to-head.
Yeah, and funny thing as well, kind of playing two different games as well. Boy, North Park getting up and down the floor, highest scoring team in the CCIW. And right now, Illinois Wesleyan's the best defensive team in the conference, field goal percentage-wise, and giving up points. So they're doing it different ways. Should be an intriguing matchup here at the Shirk. Can't wait for it.
Illinois Wesleyan, as you said, one of the toughest defensive teams in the CCIW, if not the country. But they don't mind the higher tempo style that North Park's going to bring. They just need a higher percentage of stops, even if the game is in the 80s or 90s.
Yeah, I don't think the Titans mind that at all, as long as they're getting good looks on the offensive end. They certainly want to slow down that transition game of North Park, no doubt about it. And it was kind of the same thing against Augustana on Wednesday. Wanted to take the Augustana Vikings out of transition. Did a pretty good job in the first half, maybe not as good in the second half of that contest, but it's probably going to hit another level here against North Park here tonight.
Well, the Titans held on for a victory against Augustana, 88-79. Meanwhile, North Park has had a terrific season under second-year coach Edwin McGee. They held off North Central in an overtime game in which they trailed by 18 in the second half, 92-87. They're off to a 10-3 start this year. Their only loss in conference play came against Carroll. Their other losses came against ranked teams, Wisconsin La Crosse, Wisconsin LeClaire. Oh, by the way, they have a win against Wisconsin Stevens Point, the Pointers' only loss of the season. And the way they've been able to pull out games so far this season, this sort of has a feel of the 2022-23 team, which was a magical year for the Vikings, in which they won the conference tournament for the first time in a long time and made it all the way to the Sweet 16.
Yeah, there's a lot of good teams in the CCIW. You can add North Park to that list, and I think they've found their style of play. They have found their groove, getting up and down the floor. Illinois Wesleyan's going to see a lot of backcourt pressure. We saw some a little bit from Augustana, but they're going to see a heavy bout of backcourt pressure here today. Not turning the ball over is going to be key against the Vikings. They do a great job of turning you over. North Park also does a great job of sharing the basketball. 65% of all field goals come off assists. They really share the ball well. They play well together. This is a good basketball team Illinois Wesleyan will be playing today, and maybe the most pressure they've seen in the backcourt so far this season. Be interesting to see how Coach Rose's team handles it.
These two teams breathing down the necks of the Carthage Firebirds, who are the leaders in the conference at 4-1 and 10-4 overall. North Park, the only one-loss team with them at 3-1. Illinois Wesleyan is even up with Milliken. Both are 3-2 on the year, so just a game behind first place. As we take a look at the matchups today, you've got Milliken, one of the surprise teams of the league this year. Lane Toman has been a terrific player for them as they're playing at Carroll today, looking to maintain their standing in the upper half of the league. You've got Augustana and Elmhurst going head-to-head, and Wheaton and North Central, along with the Titans and Vikings.
Yeah, certainly some outstanding matchups. You mentioned Milliken really playing well here. We saw Augustana on Wesleyan. We saw Carroll before that. Both good basketball teams. The Titans have already dropped one to Elmhurst. How about Wheaton versus North Central? Who knows what's going to happen in that particular contest? Wheaton has a really good team. North Central already gave the Titans a loss this season. Now, probably everybody else in the conference is going, what a great game at the Shirk Center, North Park and Illinois Wesleyan.
No question. Now, these two teams, as we mentioned, they've had their ups and downs. They've not both been at the top of their games at the same time. The Titans have swept the season series the last 2 years before they got swept by North Park in that Sweet 16 season as they meet for the 132nd time overall, a matchup that goes all the way back to 1942. Illinois Wesleyan leads the all-time series 95-36. They've won 4 straight and 14 of their last 17, but they've had some tough matchups. Last year, the Titans swept the series. They won in Chicago by 11 on January 8th. Close battle here in February of last year. 87-81 was the final.
Yeah, North Park always seems to play Illinois Wesleyan well, and usually gives the Titans a style they really don't see very often, which is that full court, up and down, get in your face every time they score. They're in that full court pressure. Be interesting to see what North Park does with that full court pressure today. Zone press, man press. Titans are going to be ready for all of those different things. Everybody's going to have to be able to handle the ball, and I actually think that's one of the skills of the Titans. Everybody can handle the basketball, get to the basket, and then the question is, what does North Park, just like everybody else, do with the big guy, Noah Cleveland, inside for the Titans?
Ed McGee, the second-year head man, was part of the coaching staff that helped bring North Park back into the top tier of the CCIW under Sean Smith. In their second year, they made that run to the Sweet 16. After that, Coach Smith left, took a Division I job at South Dakota. It soon became Ed McGee's team, and after they sort of reset the last couple of years around 500, maybe came back to the pack, but now it's starting to look like they're a team that could consistently be a top-tier team with, unusually, 2 of their key players who did not play college basketball last year, and Julian Campbell, who transferred from Carthage, was a key player on 2 of their teams in 2023 and 24. And Colden Van Landingham, a preseason All-American, a 2-time All-Conference player, and one of the best players in the country as a senior.
Yeah, Colden Van Landingham has had an outstanding season. 15 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. What a stat line. Boy, just stuffing the stats all year. Julian Campbell has always been an issue for Illinois Wesleyan. His ability to be able to pick and pop at the top, outstanding. He can shoot the basketball. He's going to drag some of those bigs out for Illinois Wesleyan today. That'll be interesting because the Titans have rim protected probably better than anybody in the country so far this year. He's going to draw some of those big guys out. That'll be interesting to see how that plays out as the game goes along.
Well, we will hear from Coach Ron Rose, and we'll bring you our players to watch after our first time out. Here from Shirk Center, it's the Illinois Wesleyan Titans and the North Park Vikings. Back in a moment. This is Titan Basketball on 88.1 FM, WVSN, IWSports.com, and the CCIW Network.
OSF Healthcare Cardiovascular Institute has been named one of the top hospital systems in the country for heart care. This prestigious award by the American College of Cardiology comes from our commitment to providing the highest quality of care, from general cardiology to complex surgeries and the latest technology. Nationally recognized heart care right here. OSF Healthcare Cardiovascular Institute.
We didn't just want to add strains, we wanted to add results. So at Just Thrive, we were very specific about finding strains that work synergistically to improve the overall microbiome in a way that you could feel it. For example, reducing bloating, improving the immune response, improving digestion, working on leaky gut. These are all things you will feel when you start to use a product that is formulated in a synergistic way. Try the Just Thrive probiotic and antioxidant and see how microbial synergy.
And welcome back to Shirk Center here at Illinois Wesleyan, tipping off at about 4:15 this afternoon in the CCIW matchup between the Titans and the North Park Vikings. Titans come in at 11-3 and 3-2 overall, 5-1 here on their home floor this season with 2 straight victories during this home stand, looking for the clean sweep before they head to Wheaton a week from today. Now our focus on the Vikings and our players to watch this afternoon.
Yeah, let's start first of all with North Park. Colden Van Landingham, an outstanding player for the Vikings. You see him on your screen, and there is his graphic right there. 15 points per game, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. Boy, a guard getting 7 rebounds per game does it all for the Vikings. And as I said, this is a team that shoots the ball really well and also shares the basketball. Mike Vukovic is actually the leading scorer for the Vikings, over 20 points per game, but Colden Van Landingham is the man that makes it happen for North Park. On the other side, for Illinois Wesleyan, boy, he's been a graphic a lot for us so far this year. Noah Cleveland has been outstanding, and he has been on an absolute roll. You look at the points per game at 18.7, just absolutely outstanding, but 11.8 rebounds per game. That's been a big key for the Titans because Cleveland can absolutely gobble him off the glass. That gets the fast break going on the other end for Illinois Wesleyan. He has been a nightmare to guard. We've seen 1,000 different ways they've tried to guard him so far, and we'll be interested to see how North Park tries to do that today.
Noah Cleveland named to the National D3 Hoops Team of the Week this past week for the second time this season. Only 2 other players in the history of Illinois Wesleyan men's basketball have had that honor in their entire careers. Corey Kuhn and Matt Laritz. Noah Cleveland has been here for, checking my watch, about a month and a half, and he's already had that honor twice. Who knows how many more times he has ahead of him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he has been outstanding so far. His athleticism is off the charts on the D3 level, and boy, Noah has played extremely well for Illinois Wesleyan. And you got to think, once he starts to get fully comfortable with everything happening, boy, off the charts of where his ceiling is as a Titan. Certainly going to be fun to watch.
Well, he's sporting a brace from a dunk that he finished off in the game against Augustana on Wednesday night. We'll see how close he is to full strength here today as the Titans get ready for the North Park Vikings and Ron Rose's team looking for their 6th straight victory. Coach, the Titans come in on a roll, 5 straight victories and going for 6 today.
Well, I do think we're playing better, and that's I think really the thing as a coach you look for is, are you improving? Are you making strides in the areas that you've struggled in? And I feel like individually, our guys are really figuring out what they're good at, how they can contribute, and are playing well. And as a result, as a team, we're playing much better together as well.
It's been interesting to see how teams have tried to guard against Noah Cleveland in this unique lineup. Augustana goes small last week. Other teams have gone big. It seems more teams are kind of experimenting with different schemes to try to figure things out. Has that affected your preparation at all from game to game?
Well, what a luxury as a coach, knowing that teams are having to change their defensive strategy because of the players on our roster, and specifically, Noah on the low block. he has to have extra attention. And so I think what has happened with our guys is we have a couple different ways we go about when the ball is fed into the post, and based on how teams are guarding Noah will kind of determine our movement once the ball gets in there. And I think one of the results of one reason our guys are shooting the ball better is we've gotten more comfortable where those shots are going to come from when they're going to be open. I've been really impressed with Noah's development. It takes a while to get used to having different coverages thrown at you. No different than a really good score on the perimeter, and teams are doubling them in ball screens or guarding them different ways that way. There's an adjustment time, and he's picked that stuff up really quick. And he's really a smart basketball player, and so I do feel like part of it is our guys know each other better. Like Noah knows where to find guys on the team when people are throwing extra bodies at them.
Defense has been a consistent strength for this team. You've got a lot of guys who are long, athletic, very disruptive. Foul trouble has been a concern at different times this year, maybe more than most. How do you try to manage that to maximize their ability to disrupt and cause chaos while keeping them in the game?
Yeah, I don't want to take away our aggressiveness. Our strength, to your point, is our size, our length. I think we have done a pretty good job of playing team defense. That we're not leaving guys out on islands one-on-one, that it's been a collective effort. And so I think it's just being smart, not picking up some silly ones, not picking them up 90 feet from the basket, not getting frustration fouls, that they have to be aggressive fouls with a purpose in a passing lane or on a drive in a gap. And we've done a really good job of getting our hands on a lot of those, blocking shots off the ball that make sense as opposed to, maybe from behind. So I think it's each individual kind of learning a little bit about where those fouls have occurred and trying to stay away from those, especially early in the game. Our goal is we want to make sure, I think, specifically, Mason Funk has got himself into some foul trouble, and Mason is so important to us. We don't want to have to manage his minutes in the second half. We want to be able to play him when we want to play him, and not based on foul trouble. So I think there's a learning curve there, but I don't want to take away our aggressiveness. A guy like Mason Funk gets his hands and is so disruptive with those quick hands and long arms.
And two of North Park's best players, Mike Vukovic and Colton Van Landingham, are out there almost the entire game, 35 minutes apiece between them, and yet they want to play an up-tempo style. This team, your team, seems to be comfortable going either way. Do you plan for this to be a up-court, up-tempo game?
Yeah, we want to play up-tempo. North Park does a really good job of getting teams. They average over 80 possessions a game. The national average is around 70. So they're getting 10 extra possessions. I think that's part of their strategy. And so I think if a team is pressuring you, if you're not aggressive attacking it, I think you get yourself on your heels. On a missed shot, we want to push. One great way to attack pressure is never let them set up their press. And so that's our style. We've got skilled ball handlers, passers. So we want to stay aggressive. At the same time, we don't want it to be just a flat-out track meet and chaotic out there. Can we play at a fast pace without turning the ball over, with still getting a quality shot? And there's when you've got a floor general like Jackson Nego out there, you feel pretty good about his understanding of when to go fast and maybe when to pull the reins in. He's taking care of the ball incredibly well. We as a team, I think early in the year, turned the ball over a lot more than we have recently. And so that's going to be one of the keys of the game, is taking care of the basketball, because they turn turnovers into buckets really fast. And that fuels their defense. The more turnovers, baskets, here comes the pressure. And so just taking care of the basketball will allow us to get a good shot, allow us to set our defense, and hopefully control the tempo that's most comfortable for us.
So taking care of the basketball was the number one key. Anything else to highlight?
Well, I think this team, the other area that we have improved dramatically is rebounding the basketball, and we need to do that again. I mean, with our size and length, we need to get extra shots. North Park's going to try to get extra possessions by stealing the ball. We need to get extra possessions by rebounding the ball. And so that number of their steals versus our offensive rebounds, I think, is going to be a telling thing at the end of the game.
I appreciate the time. Best of luck, and we'll talk afterwards.
Thanks, Eric.
Well, Coach, it has to feel good.
They say every challenge holds an opportunity. At Illinois Wesleyan, you've got the power to seize it. Here you'll find the tools, mentors, and real-world experiences to take on any challenge and become the person you're meant to be. The best college in Illinois for landing a job? You're looking at it.
Tap or click now to start your free application
And break through at Illinois Wesleyan University.
Welcome back to the Shirk Center in Bloomington. Welcome back to the Shirk Center in Bloomington, Illinois. I'm Matt Sossler. Eric Stock and Joel Swanson will be with you in just a moment for the tip-off between Illinois Wesleyan and North Park. But for now, they get recognized for their 20 years of broadcasting Illinois Wesleyan Titan men's basketball, beginning all the way back in 2006. They have done countless games since then, and without further ado, we send it down to another staple of Illinois Wesleyan men's basketball, Ben Alcine.
Good afternoon and welcome to Illinois Wesleyan University Shirk Center at Denny Bridge Court, home of the 33-time CCIW champion Titan basketball. This afternoon's CCIW contest will feature the visiting North Park University Vikings. Your hosts, the Titans of Illinois Wesleyan. North Park is 10-3 on the season, 3-1 in conference play. The Vikings are coached by Edwin McGee in his second season with a record of 24 wins and 15 defeats. Illinois Wesleyan enters the contest 11-3 overall, 3-2 in the CCIW, coaching the Titans in his 20th season at his alma mater with a record of 360 wins and 167 losses. Ron Rose. Fans, at this time, we'd like to take a moment to recognize Eric Stock and Joel Swanson, longtime broadcasters of Titan basketball. This season marks the 20th on the airwaves. As the voice of the Titans men's basketball, 20th season for Eric Stock and 19th for Joel Swanson. The duo have teamed up to call hundreds of Titan men's basketball games, along with many IW women's basketball contests and football games. Some of the greatest moments in Illinois Wesleyan athletics history have been brought to life through their broadcasts. Their commitment to and passion for Illinois Wesleyan athletics, and specifically Titan basketball, is unmatched. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, join us in celebrating and thanking Eric Stock and Joel Swanson for all they do for IWU. And now, let's meet our starters. First, for the Vikings of North Park. 6'2" and a senior from Chicago, number 3, William Bates. 6'1" and a junior from Hanover Park, number 4, Mike Vukovic. A 6'2" senior from Richmond, Indiana, number 5, Colden Van Landingham. 6'4" and a freshman from Chicago, 25, Marquise Vance. And a 6'8" junior from Chicago, 54, Julian Campbell. And now for the Titans of Illinois Wesleyan. 6'8" and a sophomore from Normal, 0, Noah Cleveland. A 6'5" junior from Normal, number 10, Mason Funk. 5'10" and a junior from St. Louis, Missouri, 14, Kason Lawrence. 5'11" and a junior from Western Springs, 15, Jackson Nego. And a 6'5" senior from Glencoe, 22, Carlo Kolak.
About to tip it off here from Shirk Center this afternoon. Illinois Wesleyan in their home alternate grays. Titans across the front of their jerseys in green numbers and letters and a white trim. North Park in their road black jerseys with blue trim at the top, gold trim at the bottom. White numbers and the 4 stars at the bottom of each number, and North Park across the front of their chests. Our officials for today's game are Bobby Mazalewski, Michael Roofer, and Darren Sorter. As we get set to tip off, Noah Cleveland at the center jump with Marquise Vance at 6'4", and we're about to get underway. Titans win the tap. They go left to right here in the first half.
Oh, they're going to see heavy pressure. You see North Park going to pick up in that man-to-man. A lot of switches for the Vikings probably early on.
He goes to baseline inside, finds Mason Funk for the easy 2.
Yeah, we saw Illinois Wesleyan get off to a great start offensively against Augustana on Wednesday. We'll see if they can match that again here this afternoon against North Park.
Julian Campbell up top over to Vance, the freshman, guarded here by Mason Funk, top of the key, looking for some contact. Van Landingham sort of reached his backside out and drew the contact. We talked to Coach Rose about this at the pregame. They've had a problem with foul trouble in many games this year, more than is usual, and that's perhaps the downside of a team that plays so aggressive defensively. They want sort of the best of both worlds if they can maintain that, keep their guys on the floor. Vance goes up top to Van Landingham. Now it's Vukovic being guarded tightly here by Nego. Takes him baseline, kicks the ball out to an open man. Van Landingham sidesteps, shoots a 3, steps up and it spins out, and Funk runs down the miss for Illinois Wesleyan.
Boy, how did Vukovic even find Van Landingham that time? Really nice pitch outside. He'll make that shot most of the time.
He's become such a great passer, and he's one of several on this North Park team. Vukovic, the 4th leading scorer in the conference as well. Now on the right side, it's Nego with a dribble to the elbow, out to Kolak. Kolak moves his way inside, pulls up 13-footer, a swish.
I really like that shot for Carlo Kolak. We saw him attack the basket early in the season. That time pulling up for that little 15-footer looked awfully good.
Kolak gives the Titans a 4-0 lead. Campbell at the top of the key. Vukovic with the bobble. Now with the left-hand dribble around the pick by Campbell. He's covered. It goes over to Vance in the wing. Moves his way inside. Barrels down low. The runner. Good defensive effort by Funk to force the miss, and the rebound to Cleveland.
It's all about angles. You got to push him out, give him a bad angle to the glass.
Nego on the penetration, kicks it out. Funk head fake, no shot. Behind the back dribble, spins, swings it over on the right to Cleveland. Stares down Campbell, and the 15-footer no good. Campbell pulls down the miss.
Yeah, Noah starts knocking that down consistently. Watch out.
Bates into the front court, 4-0 Titans. Bates with a nice sidestep, pops a 3, and it's off the mark as he pulled back, and Nego the rebound. Titans head 4. Now Kolak with a head fake. He goes to baseline. The double clutch got stripped. Pocket pick by Van Landingham. He's so good at that. Got the strip.
Yeah, that was well done. It looked like Carlo was going to have a good look at the basket.
Van Landingham into the corner to Bates. Back out to Campbell. He can shoot the 3 and does. You remember to Carthage. A deep ball for Julian Campbell, averaging 14 points a game in limited starter minutes. He doesn't play the full 40 or close to it.
I think he loves the Shirk Center, too, because when he played for Carthage, he was knocking him down. Remember that, and picking up right where he left off, just in a different uniform.
And he's only a junior. 4-3 cross court to Kason Lawrence, who stepped out of bounds with his left foot to accept the cross court pass.
And we talked about this in the pregame, that pick and pop for Julian Campbell opens up so many other things because he's going to draw Noah Cleveland away from the basket. And Noah's a big part of that defensive rim protection for Illinois Wesleyan inside.
4-3, Illinois Wesleyan on top. At the top of the key is Vukovic. Looks to put a move on Nego. With Vance setting a screen, now to Campbell. Campbell's covered on the perimeter by Cleveland. Vukovic rolls around the screen, and he'll pop a triple that spins out. Funk another rebound.
Yeah, Vukovic, 44% from that three-point line on the season. Really good shooter, really good scorer as well.
At the top of the key, Kolak works to the right side of Lawrence. He has had the hot hand of the last 5 games. Into the corner it goes to Funk. Raises a contested 3 off the back iron. Kolak elevates for the rebound. Kolak in the corner, kicks it out to Nigo. Top of the key, Lawrence, an open 3, a deep one. He hits it.
Well, they left him open. You can't do it. You got to find him all over the floor. That's tough, though. On those offensive rebounds, you're in total scramble mode at that point.
His first basket of the game, and the Titans have a 7-3 lead. Vukovic at the top of the circle. Over to Van Landingham. Off the pick. Now another screen. Looks for Lane. In the corner to Bates. Bates looks to Pooh to move on Lawrence. Has him covered. Back out Campbell. His 3 skims off the rim. Vance got the rebound. Vance kicks it across to Van Landingham for 2.
Yeah, those are tough rebounds sometimes. Boy, those caroms that come off the rim, I mean, really difficult to bring down. And Illinois Wesleyan couldn't quite grab that one. And fortunately, North Park ended up with a pretty easy basket.
7-5. Illinois Wesleyan up by 2. 4 minutes gone by. Nigo drives into the corner. Kolak an open 3 and he hits. He's picking up where he left off. Career highs in points and rebounds on Wednesday.
Yeah, I just think it was confidence for Carlo from the outside. He picked that up, as you mentioned, with an outstanding game on Wednesday.
Give it a go inside to Campbell for 2.
That's going to be tough. Again, they're drawing Noah out up the lane because Julian Campbell can shoot the ball so well. That's going to open up the basket. Maybe a little bit more exposed than Illinois Wesleyan's been all year.
10-7. Titans are up by 3. Funk with head fake gets his way into the paint, pulls up 6-footer and knocks it down.
Boy, back and forth we go. Both these teams playing offense at a high level. We talked about North Park's offense, but Illinois Wesleyan so far has been awfully good at the offensive end.
Vikings averaging 91 points per game, one of the tops in the country. And efficient as well, 47% for the floor and 36% from 3. Well, tipped in, Van Landingham stepped out of bounds, but he got bumped.
Yeah, he got no choice but to call that one right there. You know, maybe if he lands in bounds, you can kind of let that bump go. As soon as he lands out of bounds, you have no choice but to call that. I mean, he was forced out that time by Jackson Nigo. Tough break against Illinois Wesleyan, but really the official no choice but to blow the whistle there.
Nigo got the foul, his first and team second, as Vukovic gets ready to inbound the ball. And Nigo comes out of the game. David Williams, the 6'2 senior from Peoria, Notre Dame, comes in as they play off the ball. And Vukovic looks to inbound on the Iron Titans into Campbell. Head fake, no shot, back out to Vance. Vance rolls off the pick, wide right Van Landingham. Penetrates to the baseline over Kolak. Got a hand on it. Kolak rips it away. And then he got tangled up with Vance, who reached in. And now Vance, a freshman, and has been a key player for them this year, but still can get himself in foul trouble, and he picks up probably a needless one there.
Yeah, just trying to reach in. I think just sometimes there's some frustration when certain plays happen, just trying to get the ball back here for North Park, as North Park will head to the bench as well here. Brady Ruggles now in the game for Illinois Wesleyan. Jackson Nigo went to the bench. David Williams in there right now for the Titans.
Kolak with a diagonal pass, nearly threw it away. Brady Ruggles backtracks to get it. And the junior gets it into David Williams, who lumbers baseline. Got bumped by Vukovic toward the baseline. The runner, no, but a foul.
It would have counted, Eric. That one went right off the rim there. It would have counted. He's going to the line. Nice job by David Williams. I didn't think he was going to take it to the basket. I thought for sure he'd pull it back out, but the senior showing that confidence. We talked about how important he is going to be for this team in January and February here in this stretch. Coming off the bench for Illinois Wesleyan. His first free throw drops home. And the more confidence he builds on the offensive end, defense has never been an issue at all. But the more confidence he builds at the offensive end, well, he is going to play some valuable minutes for the Titans. I know the coaching staff thinks really highly of him, and he's going to have a big role here the rest of the way.
Yeah, especially with Josh Fredman, the sophomore, preseason All-American, out for the rest of the year with shoulder surgery, which he had set to have this week. And the second free throw rattles out for David. Gets one of the two. It's a 13-7 count. Titans on top. Vukovic ahead to Campbell as he journeys to the left side. Poked away, pocket pick by Cleveland. Cleveland with a 2-on-1. Ball trickles away. Williams picks it up. Back to Cleveland. Went for the dunk. Got stuffed. Got it back and powers it in.
Yeah, really nice job that time by the Titans picking up that loose ball. But here comes North Park back the other way.
Vukovic behind the back dribble. Pulls up. 8-footer rimming short. Cleveland the rebound.
Well, this is the type of game North Park wants to play. They want to get up and down the floor. I don't think they mind that missed shot at all. It just produces the pace that they want.
Kolak with a spin, leans into Van Landingham. No whistle. Make that, that was Tyven Garrison. One of the whistle didn't get it. Baseline. Cleveland to back out to Kolak. They look to reset instead. Kolak pops a three, spins out. One-handed tip, no good for Cleveland. And Nathan Bulk got a hand on it, then goes out of bounds. Bulk, the senior from Barrington, who tied a modern-day record for shot blocks in a game for the Titans with 5. And the Titans, in fact, as a team, tied a modern record with 11 block shots in the win against Augustana. Also had that against Wisconsin Lutheran back in November.
Yeah, they've been a prolific shot blocking team this year. Their rim protection's outstanding. We'll see how that goes today.
Ja'Kai Gray, the 6'1" junior guard from Matea Valley. Now it's Vukovic. Puts a move on David Williams, gets into the paint, throws it up over his shoulder, got the whistle. The bailout looked a bit out of control, but drew the contact. And David Williams picks up the foul, his first, and the team's third.
Yeah, I think Coach Rose just upset that. Maybe a late whistle that time. Have to see the replay as Vukovic definitely out of control as he got in the lane right there. Might have been a bit of a bailout call that time by the official.
Vukovic's first free throw is good, a 70% free throw shooter. The junior.
There's a good look at the replay there. Yep, Coach Rose was right. Certainly not a lot of contact on that one.
Vukovic not a part of the rotation at all last year. As a sophomore, played a whopping 25 minutes of varsity basketball. And Coach McGee in the Hoopsville podcast this week talked about how they worked with him in the offseason. He strengthened, got stronger, got smarter as a basketball player, and they are using him as an example of someone that can be out of the rotation and all of a sudden an all-conference caliber player the following year. He has followed that blueprint, makes both free throws there, and makes it a 6-point game.
Yeah,
Brady
been
Keel
outstanding so far this season.
Keel now to Ruggles off the handoff from Bolt. A three on the way. Good for Brady Ruggles.
Brady Ruggles is not shy. He's the type of guy that comes off the bench looking for a shot as soon as he hits the floor and knocks that one home.
The junior transfer from the Air Force Academy puts the Titans up by 9. Bounce pass ball slipped away, a turnover to Ruggles. Titans with a 3-on-2 if they hurry. Williams, the bounce pass to Keel, couldn't corral it. Lost it behind his back, fights to get it back. And inside the half circle, we will have a tie-up, a jump ball between Keel and I believe Jerome Smith Jr., the junior from Evanston Township and Louisiana Tech College. Alternate possession will send it the other way to the Vikings.
Nice little bounce pass that time by David Williams. Kind of hit Brady in stride right there. I wasn't quite sure he was ready for it. He kind of came out of the pack at the last moment right there and unfortunately couldn't quite corral that one for that right-handed layup. Would have been a nice finish for him. Nice job by the Titans, though, getting the strip on the other end. Defense has been really solid for Illinois Wesleyan here so far in the contest.
Tybin Garrison to the inbound. Titans show token pressure. Now they back off here with a 9-point lead at the 13-minute mark of the first half. Now at the top of the key, it is Smith with one hopper on the left elbow to Van Landingham. Stares down his man, lost his balance against Lawrence. Now regains control. He'll fade a tough shot from 15, no good. Williams the rebound. Titans, I don't think, mind that shot much. Now it's Lawrence into the front court. Out to Williams up top, back to Lawrence. Around the horn they go. Ruggles another three. Line drive, one of the whistles. He fell to the floor. Then a foul came after with a call flop against the shooter in this case, Brady Ruggles.
I just don't know if Brady had a lot of room to be able to come down that time on that particular play.
So that'll lead to free throws. They've not enforced that as much in the last couple of years after that rule was put into play, and maybe it's reduced the number of flops. It seems like we've seen fewer of them as we see free throws here for Jerome Smith, and the junior knocks it down to make it an 18-10 game.
Yeah, usually the flop is on the charge
Defender.
block call most of the time, so that's usually where it happens. You don't see it very often on the three-point shot. I didn't get a real good look on the replay there if whether Brady had time or room to be able to come down on the play. Bishop must have been pretty clear on what he saw to be able to go with the flop call.
Bolt and Ruggles are out. David Williams at the point along with Lawrence, Kolak, Funk, and Keel down low. Smith kicks it out wide left to Van Landingham. Stares down his man, awaits a screen instead, curls up to the top of the key, moving in on Kolak with a hard dribble into the paint, pulls up, kicks it out, top of the key, three on the way, is wide left for Lazario Cornish. Rebound tracked down near the baseline, out of bounds. Kolak was there, took a tumble with Smith. It is out of bounds, and Titans will get it.
How about David Williams? Doing a great job keeping that ball alive right there. David Williams scored 1 point in that stretch he was on the floor, but just played some terrific basketball. The defensive end, making a nice play there on the rebound. That's exactly what you want to see from him coming in.
Now Nego brings the ball to the crossover with the Titans up by 8, 18-10. Kolak on the left side, triggers it high to Mason Funk. Rolls off the pick to the left, pulls up left elbow. Jumper, got it.
Yeah, nice little double screen right there. I love that play. Brady Keel hitting him on the second one. And that allowed Mason Funk to be able to find some open space.
Titans now with a double-digit lead. Offensive foul, the moving screen against Cornish, the junior from West Palm Beach, Florida. And the team's third.
Coach McGee will continue to substitute, continue to pressure. The pace that North Park plays, where there's not a comfortable lead in any sort of contest, they can make runs at you pretty quick.
Titans up by 10. Nigo top of the key, left side of Cleveland, wheels baseline. Harry's cut off, swings it out to Lawrence. Right side, Kolak fakes a three, moves baseline, spots Funk, baseline J, no. Kolak the rebound. Launches it back out to Lawrence. Left side, Nigo open from downtown. Too strong. Tipped by Kolak, tipped a couple of times up in the air, near the near sideline. Loose off the foot of Funk, out of bounds to North Park.
That's okay. Got a great look from Jackson Nigo right there, keeping that ball alive. Titans doing a nice job on the 50-50 ball so far. Able to keep up with that hustle of North Park. You know the Vikings are going to play extremely hard. It's one of the reasons why they've had such a nice season here so far. And North Park coming in with that nice 10-3 record.
And 3-1 in the league, just a half game behind Carthage at the top. And we'll have the same play.
Same guy.
Moving pick once again on Cornish. That is his second and team's fourth.
And not exactly sure what he did on that particular play. The official says he's getting the elbow up on that. You don't see that called very often with those illegal screens. Guys moving all over the place many times. All of that is part of college basketball these days, going to the tight handoff, a lot of ball screens, a lot of ball screen action. That's what teams work on all the time offensively and then trying to figure out a way to defend it.
Tight basketball here with a 10-point lead, 20-10. Jackson Nigo with the top. Nigo controls the basketball, looks, kicks the ball over on the right. Now backing down here is Cleveland. Cleveland now back out to Funk. Funk will pull up, 15-footer, tough shot of the fade. He knocks it down.
Yeah, Mason did a nice job rising up on that particular shot right there. Just put it right over the top of the defender.
Titans here with a 22-10 lead. The ball knocked away from Gray by Lawrence, so it will stay with the Vikings.
The Titans have been good on these ball screens here so far. Done a really nice job keeping North Park out of the lane in this contest. We'll see if that continues.
22-10, Illinois Wesleyan with a 12-point lead. Now midway through the shot clock. On the curl, Garrison. Down low, that's Gray. He'll pop a triple. No good. Cleveland the rebound.
That's what Noah does so well. He's a range rebounder, right? Not coming straight at me. I'm going to go get it.
22-10, Titans on top. Kolak, the driver to the corner, head fake. Lawrence thought about the shot. Funk will take it from deep, and it is too strong. Kolak with a nice effort to save it, but could not do it. It goes out of bounds. Julian Campbell.
There's Connor Williams coming in the lineup now here for Illinois Wesleyan. Good to see him on the floor, the 6'2 sophomore, getting some time here. Coach Rose wanting to go a little deeper with his lineup, getting a few more guys off the bench here, and maybe a little bit of wiggle room now with a 12-point lead with 10 to go here in the first half.
Yeah, approaching the midway mark here from Shirk Center in this CCIW matchup. Top of the key, three ball on the way by Garrison, nothing but net.
Yeah, really nice job. He was screening down low. He's able to pop to the outside, knock down that three-point shot. Well run that time by the Vikings. Got him an open look, and boy, he made Illinois Wesleyan pay.
22-13, Wesleyan ahead by 9 as Nigo roams to the right side. Now we see Connor Williams into the game for the first time. Over to Mason Funk, rolls off his screen. He's had the hot hand early. Gets it down low to Cleveland. Cleveland floats back out to Funk. Slides it down low to Cleveland again. 0 on Campbell. Looking, pivots. Gives it up to Funk, filling the lane for 2.
Yeah, well done that time by Noah Cleveland. Nowhere to go. Found Mason Funk, who knows how to finish.
Funk now with a 10, and the Titans lead by 11. Vukovic goes to baseline. Draws the double. Good ball rotation out to Campbell for 3. Had it blocked by Cleveland. They reset. Smith for 3, a rainbow from the left wing. No good. Carlo Kolak with another tough rebound. The lob ahead to Cleveland. The catch. Dropped it in. Looking for the dunk and had it blocked by Smith.
That was impressive that time by Noah Cleveland. Look at this assist right here. Spins, nowhere to go. Cut off by Julian Campbell. Great cut that time. Mason Funk right into your living room right there. Now Noah Cleveland going to the line. Boy, you talk about running the rim for Noah. rim run, gets the block out front, straight to the rim. Free throw up, no good off the heel. But you love to see the big guy rewarded, right? Running the floor, they hit him right in stride. Let's see if Noah can put this one down. Talked about having a struggle with the elbow, happened the game on Wednesday. Just trying to play through that here this afternoon.
52% at the line this year.
That percentage is going up, Eric.
It is.
It is going up.
It is.
He is making progress, no doubt about that.
As he's changed his stroke just a bit to put more of his lower body into it. And the Titans are up by 12, knocked away by Nigo. He's got the steal. 2-on-2. Nigo takes it himself, lays it up and in.
Oh, that is impressive. That's how you teach it, right? Outside hand, you get the tip, and the Vikings turn it over on the other end.
Well, the Vikings are very good at causing chaos and benefiting from that chaos, but the chaos is not working in their favor today.
Yeah, not right now. And again, team that gets up and down the floor, no lead is safe. They can make a run at you. Titans are going to have to continue to play at a high level.
At 27-13, 8:25 to go in the first half. Kolak top of the key to Mason. Funk holds the rock, puts a move to the left, looking for the handoff now to Nigo. Hooks it back out to Funk. He's hot. His three comes up short. Rebound going to Adari Thomas.
Oh, Van Landingham is hurt right now, Eric. And let's see if they're going to get a timeout here.
Oh, yeah,
they need a timeout.
Yeah,
man, he is such a nice player for North Park. Hopefully he's okay. He's a talented kid.
He's got a clear stumble as he goes to the bench and a little more upright now as he heads to the trainer.
Not exactly sure. Maybe took a knee to the thigh right there. Pretty sore, though, but hopefully we'll see him back in the contest. He's a valuable member for North Park. Talked about his stat line, just outstanding on the season.
Titans are up by 14, approaching 8 minutes to go in the first half. It's Thomas on the right wing. Now at the top of the circle, it's Bates. Bates moves in, pulls up, 15-footer is good.
Great job creating space right there. Boy, Bates really did a nice job of getting Mason Funk back on his heels. I didn't even see an extended arm. I think it was just a nice move that time by Bates that got that nice little 15-footer off. Coach McGee's going to take a timeout here. Things have not gone well for North Park here. Start this contest, get everybody settled down. Look at this little move here. Nice little step back. Really well done. Knocking it home that time for the Vikings.
And against one of the best defenders in the CCIW.
And one of the wings that has the best length in the CCIW as well. Yeah, Mason does a really good job many times getting up on that shot and taking that shot away. So pretty impressive that time by North Park. And they certainly needed it. Only 15 points on the board here, 7:55 to go in the first half. You can talk about the Titans' offense, and it's been good, but their defense has been really solid here to start this game. North Park's had a hard time getting anything out in transition so far. Titans have done a great job getting back on defense. They haven't turned it over against the press here. We'll see if they change that pressure up. They do. A little 2-2-1 here now by the Vikings here to start this possession.
Kolak with a diagonal pass to Lawrence to get the ball across the timeline, and the Vikings go back into the man-to-man.
It's a zone, Eric.
Now they go to the zone.
Yep, looks like they're going to match up out of it.
Now on the left side, it's Funk. Right to Nigo. Nigo stares down his man Bates. Chest pass right side to Lawrence. Lawrence feeds the post. Cleveland with a quick turn to his left. He goes the other way, pulls up in the paint and floats it in for two.
Yeah, there's not a player in Division III that can stop that. That is just not, you just can't stop that at this level right here. That fadeaway, he makes that every time. You just skip your cap and go the other way.
29-15, Titans on top. Cleveland with 5. On the baseline, Gray is cut off. Good D by Nigo. Launches it out to Vukovic near midcourt. Vukovic looking for a screen. Well covered there by Kolak into the corner. A 3-ball by Gray is short. Kolak another carom for the Titans.
Good defensive possession. Cut off dribble penetration. Make it difficult to shoot from the outside.
Funk head to Cleveland. Looks to get in on Campbell. He'll fade from the baseline. No good. Julian gets the rebound.
Still a pretty good look at the basket right there for Noah.
Now Thomas brings it up for the Vikings. Under 7 minutes till halftime. 27-15. Vukovic at the top. Off the pick by Campbell. Vukovic hedging toward the baseline and try to look it over his shoulder to Cleveland, to Campbell rather, and got broken up out of bounds.
I'm not exactly sure where he was going with the basketball that time. Just not a lot of space between him and Julian Campbell to be able to sneak that pass in. Let's see if we see Colden Van Landingham coming off the bench here for North Park, and there he is, coming back in the game. Good to see that for the Vikings.
13 on the shot clock for the Vikings. In play to Campbell. Gives the ball back to Vukovic. Vukovic penetrates. Ball knocked away.
Yeah, David Williams almost had the steal from behind. Williams that time, as Vukovic comes off that curl. It's such a tight curl, and Campbell's hard to get around out there. So as Williams came around, he's kind of a half step behind it. A nice job getting a hand on the basketball. And the foul is going to be on Noah Cleveland that time. And now Cleveland gets the steal.
Steele now a 2-on-1 with Williams. Bounce pass ahead to David Williams for 2.
That's your center to your point guard.
Yep.
How often do you see that? That is just impressive.
It is opposite today here at Shirk Center. 31-15. Williams now with 3. And the Titans with their biggest lead. Cutting inside is Vukovic. Hammers it down low. Blocked by Cleveland. And after Vukovic got knocked to the floor, looks like Cleveland's getting... Nope.
Now watch this play by Noah
Bolt.
Cleveland. Look at in the open floor. The bounce pass. You love the bounce pass, don't you, at the end? And a nice finish by David Williams there. But the big guy, kudos to him. He made that play.
Nathan Bolt got the foul at the inbound left baseline to Van Landingham. Couldn't finish underneath the bucket. Loose ball scooped up by Cleveland for the Titans.
That's what North Park really needed right there. Down 16 right now and having a hard time here in the first half. Finally got a really good look at the basket.
Left wing, it's Kolak. Kolak on the attack into the paint. He'll pull up. 13-footer rimming out. Rebound Cleveland. Cleveland resets the ball out to Williams. Williams got past his man, glides in. Oh, he took it deep on Campbell. And Campbell went for the block and got the foul.
Look at the confidence, though, for David Williams that we've seen off the bench from that young man on the offensive end. There's something about just getting a layup on one end. All of a sudden, you build that confidence, driving, attacking the basket right there. Well, he's had some really good minutes. I really like that shot from Carlo Kolak. You see the replay here. As long close out, there's the blow by. Oh, yeah, definitely contact at the rim right there with the lower body.
And David Williams makes the first of 2.
And the Titans have had everything go their way so far. They've gotten great contributions out of everybody. It seems like the role that these guys play, they are really playing it well. Everybody's stepping up and doing their job today.
And David Williams now with 5 points. So the Titans lead 33-15 with a 5:44 to go in the first half. Bates at the top of the key off the screen by Campbell to the left elbow. Unloads to Vukovic. Vukovic. Boy, Williams is in his jersey, and he threw it away. Off the turn, threw it behind Campbell, out of bounds.
Well, you teach him off that ball screen, right? Hey, we're going to pick and pop, we're going to pick and roll, but if one guy thinks you're popping and you're rolling, that's when it becomes the problem right there, and the ball sails right out of bounds.
7 turnovers by the Vikings, and they're only shooting 25% from the floor. As the Titans here with an 18-point lead. Williams takes control out of the midcourt logo.
We'll see what they do against this matchup zone here, and they're pretty much going high post, low post.
There's Bolt to the high post, kicks it wide right to Lawrence. Now back out to Williams, baseline to Cleveland. Cleveland holds out to Lawrence, 7 to shoot, a long 3. He hits it from 25 feet.
Yeah, holy smokes, that was deep that time by Cason Lawrence.
His second 3 of the game. He's shooting over 50% from beyond the arc during this win streak. Campbell looks to answer. That one's long off the iron with 5 minutes to go in the first half. Titans up by 21. Baseline, it's Cleveland. Cleveland fronts Campbell, now backs down on him. Gets into the green space, tries to get up and under. Now he'll go to the fade and hits.
And just great post moves. Boy, just the footwork down low by Noah Cleveland. Outstanding that time, using that body.
Cleveland now with 7, 38-15 with 4.5 minutes to go in the first half. Vukovic stumbles, lost the basketball. Now Funk picks it up, has 3 trailers, takes it himself for 2, and gets the foul.
The Titans pouring it on right now here in the first half. This is the best stretch of basketball we've seen from Illinois Wesleyan probably all year. They have just been outstanding so far in this first half.
This against a team that was on the doorstep to the top 25, and if they were to win today, they would have a very good case.
Now look at Mason Funk coming right at you here. Body control, get into the defender right there, get that thing off the glass. The thing you love about Mason is his ability to be able to extend the rim. Showed it right there. And as I mentioned before, everybody is kind of playing their role here today. No superstars out there. Everybody just kind of doing their thing for the Titans.
Bates with a foul, the missed free throw knocked out of bounds off the Titans. It's been nearly 4 minutes without a field goal for the Vikings, as the Titans have now blown this to a 25-point lead. They've scored 13 unanswered in that 4-minute stretch. Van Landingham lost the ball. It's loose, and Keel picks it up from his backside, flips it out to Bolt, and then ball thrown away at midcourt. And a collision between Lawrence and Van Landingham, who may not be 100% still as he comes back into the game a little slow and getting up, and Lawrence picks up the whistle.
Yeah, kind of hobbling out there just a little bit, but again, Titans on the floor, winning that 50-50 ball. If Bolt would have gotten a little bit more on that pass, as Mason Funk was well out ahead of the play, would have had an easy 2.
40-15, Illinois Wesleyan on top as we come up on 4 minutes to go in this first half. Van Landingham shuffling baseline, looking, he's in trouble. He'll put up a tough shot on the turnaround. It's good.
Yeah, no doubt a tough shot. A couple of really good shot blockers right there. Brady Keel and also Nathan Bolt right in his grill. That was well done that time by Van Landingham.
40-17, that's just his second basket of the game. Now Williams up top against the zone, right side of Lawrence, back out to Williams. Now Funk on the left, nothing there. They work it around the horn. Williams now on the bounce pass, the pull up at the foul line, good for Mason Funk.
Watch what happened there. Funk's on the wing, he slides into the high post, and Williams passes right on the money. He just rises up and knocks it home.
And Funk is 14, 42-17. 3 is good for the right wing for Ja'Kai Gray, the junior from Naperville.
Yeah, really nice pick and pop that time by Gray, knocking it home. We'll see if the Vikings can make a little bit of a run here to kind of get this lead manageable at half.
That ends a 15-0 run by the Titans, and right back at it, a third tray of the half for Kason Lawrence.
Yeah, boy, he is feeling it right now.
Vukovic off the screen. The 3-ball spins off. Williams runs to the rebound, and a nice behind-the-back save to Nathan Bolt.
The Titans now kind of slow the offense just a little bit here, have that nice big lead. But David Williams has been huge off the bench. Kason Lawrence, heat check.
Lawrence with another 3. That's no good this time. Tracked down to the corner, Dylan Fuzak grabs it. Now to the front court. It is Van Landingham, steps in with 3. Might have been tipped by Bolt. And the putback from the baseline is good for Mike Vukovic. His first field goal of the first half, a 21-point per game scorer for North Park.
Yeah, unfortunately, David Williams thought that ball was going to hit the rim. He had his body turned, and Bolt had gotten a piece of it.
45-22, Wesleyan with the lead. Bolt at the top of the circle, kicks it to the corner. Funk is all alone for 3 off the back iron. And the rebound goes straight to Marquise Vance for the Vikings. Vukovic behind the back dribble against Williams. Now looks to give it up. Now to Vance on the baseline against Bolt. He'll shoot it over him. And all over the rim, and it drops in for the freshman.
Yeah, really difficult shot right there over Nathan Bolt. Ball hit the rim about 4 times and bounced home for North Park. Oh boy, the Titans in this stretch, though, really playing extremely well on both ends. Get a good look at Kason Lawrence, not going to come out and guard me. Doesn't matter how deep it is. Knocks it home.
Well, we hit 5 feet further than that earlier in the half.
And we heard about his shooting all in the preseason. And we are seeing it on display here in recent weeks. There's another one for Kason Lawrence right there. And when you go into that matchup zone, there's usually an area where you're like, okay, we're not going to defend beyond this particular point. And the reason for that is because you got to guard the high post. When that high post gets open, especially for a guy like Carlo Kolak or Mason Funk, the guards have to be able to sag a little bit to be able to guard that area of the court. And when guys are hitting 3s like that, boy, it really exposes the middle. And then if your top guy or your bottom guy start to drift up a little bit, then the short corner becomes a problem. That's where Noah Cleveland becomes an issue down low. But when guys are hitting shots like that, it really disrupts that zone. North Park will show a lot of different full court pressure. We'll see if they do go to a little bit of zone press eventually and see some trapping here as the game goes along.
As Nigo brings the ball across now to Cleveland at the top of the key. Unloads to Funk. One hands the ball over to Jackson Nigo on the right side. Goes baseline to Cleveland. They double him. Backs down on Fuzak, darts it across to Ruggles for 3. Got it.
Brady Ruggles hit a big 3 coming off the bench earlier in the game. Drops another one in right there. Titans have shot it extremely well here so far in the first half. And we'll see if they have a nice finish at the half.
Ruggles' second 3. They try to stem the momentum to keep North Park down going into the halftime break, because they had a big comeback on Wednesday in the second half against North Central and won in overtime. Baseline, Vance dribbled it out of bounds. The Vikings were down 18 in Naperville on Wednesday night and came back to win, but they found themselves down by more than that here today.
And is their style of play as well. They get up and down the floor, they make runs. That's why they're never out of a basketball game, so the Titans are going to have to continue to play well.
Under a minute first half, 48-24 Titans. Nigo journeys to the left side, backdoor finds Kolak, reverses, did not fall. Van Landingham with the rebound. Gets it ahead to Gray. Gray shovels it back to Van Landingham with head fake. Moves in on the big Cleveland. Got blocked by Funk. Challenged him at the rim. And Funk, who's been battling foul trouble in recent games, has been clean so far today, but just got his first.
Yeah, it looked like it might have been a little body that time by Mason. Colton Van Lanningham did a good job of getting right into Mason's body right there, able to draw the contact. Looked like he might have gotten some basketball up top. Official felt like a little bit too much contact down below, and the free throw is good for Van Lanningham. We talked about 15 points. There's the foul right there. Yeah, good call by the official. But the 15 points per game, second leading scorer for North Park. But he's really the engine of the team. 6 assists, great job distributing the basketball. 7 rebounds per game from the guard position is outstanding. His ability to be able to do everything for the Vikings so far this year really makes this team go.
Van Lanningham, the senior from Earlham College, where he transferred after 1 year, has been with the Vikings for the last 4. Did not play basketball last year. Gets both free throws, lead at 22 for Wesleyan.
Now interesting to see what the Titans do now with the clock here. About a 9-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. So it'll be interesting to see how they wind this thing down.
And of course, the Vikings don't need much time at all as they work as much of it as they can. It's Nigo out near midcourt. Now puts a move on to Vukovic at 7, at 6, moves left off a screen for 3. Nigo rimming, no. Rebound hits off the deck, and it's picked up by the Vikings. Garrison into the front court, head to Van Lanningham. Got there with about 5 seconds to go for the layup. Now the Titans have to push it. Keel from well beyond half court, and it is wide right. And the first half comes to a close. North Park chips away just a bit in the final minutes of the first half, trying to seize momentum, and it would appear that the timeout the Titans called just before the break was to not give them any hope going into the locker room.
Well, I think what happened there, and I think what the coaches might be disappointed was that Illinois Wesleyan got beat back on defense there. All of a sudden, North Park turns that into a 2-on-1. They play it perfectly, giving that basketball up, able to finish there before the end of the half. A 20-point game, but as you mentioned, North Park's a team that can come back on you. They can get those spurts going. Titans are going to have to play a good second half here. Comfortable lead right now, but certainly not out of the woods here this evening at the Shirk Center.
Titans with a 48-28 lead over the North Park Vikings as they look to stay in the upper tier of the CCIW, just a game behind Carthage and North Park, just a half game behind the CCIW leaders. Well, we're at the break, and we are going to take a look at the first half stats and the other action of the CCIW in just a moment. But first, we're going to honor one of the most decorated athletes in Illinois Wesleyan history, and that is triple jump champion, national champion, Imani Ogunribido, who's going to be honored here at halftime, and we'll talk to her a little bit later on as well. At the break, Titans lead 48-28. This is Titan Basketball on 88.1 FM, WBSN, IWSports.com, and the CCIW Network.
When competition for the best jobs is fierce, how do you set yourself apart? Experience? An education? Yes, but not just any education. At Illinois Wesleyan, we prepare graduates who break through the noise, who run the boardroom, the classroom, the lab, the stage. The best college for jobs in Illinois is right in your own backyard. Reach further, dream bigger, and break through at Illinois Wesleyan University.
Fans, at this time, we ask that you direct your...
Matt Sossler, handling our halftime festivities.
Imani Ogunribido on her 2025 NCAA Division III Outdoor Triple Jump National Championship. Imani is the 20th national champion in Illinois Wesleyan women's track and field history and the first ever in the triple jump. Her title-winning mark of 12.96 meters is the third best time in Division III. Congratulations, Imani! KCU off back iron. Bob's going to the three-point.
Here at halftime, it is 48-28. The Titans here with the lead, and we're going to talk to Imani here in just a moment, and then we'll review the first half stats. So we'll take another timeout, back in about 90 seconds. This is Titan Basketball on 881 FM, WBSN, IWSports.com, and the CCIW Network.
I believe sportsmanship is a mutual admiration and respect for your fellow competitors. We all go through a lot to reach the point where we compete against one another. It's important to realize that. So once we're finally on the field or on the court or on the starting block, we look at each other as fellow human beings and not just competitors. Being able to recognize the hard work that other athletes are putting in creates a more positive and inclusive environment.
It's time to play Did You Know with Illinois Wesleyan. First off, true or false, on average, over half of tuition for accepted students is covered by scholarships and grants. True, IWU invests more than $40 million in scholarships and grants for students each year. Where has IWU ranked in...
And we are back at Shirk Center here at Illinois Wesleyan. Eric Stock with Joel Swanson. The Titans have a 48-28 lead over the North Park University Vikings. Well, just a few moments ago, we saw an honor for an Illinois Wesleyan national champion in the triple jump from last spring. Imani Ogunribido, now a junior. Thank you for joining us, first of all. And I know it's been a little while since that national championship for you, but what is it like to reflect on that and to have such a rousing cheer from the Titan fans here today?
It means a lot. It really does. Sometimes in such a isolated sport like track where you're competing alone and kind of competing for yourself, you don't really think anyone's watching or paying attention. So it's really nice to come here and to be able to see support, and it means a lot.
Now, I wonder about that because here we are covering a team sport and you're part of a team, but your work is so individualized, and I wonder if that requires even more discipline. You have to be accountable to yourself on a daily basis.
Yeah, it definitely does. You kind of know, yes, you are a part of a team. In conference, your individual points add up to a team score, of course. But at the end of the day, it is your performance only that, gets those points. So it does make you focus more in practice and kind of realize if you don't hold yourself accountable, nobody else will, because it's only on you.
And so you had the national championship last year. You have since improved on that jump. So it seems as if you're competing against yourself at this point almost, right?
A little bit.
So if you can walk us through what your typical training regimen is to try to find that next level.
Yeah. A lot of what I do, I try to focus on myself and a lot of little tweaks that I have to make in my own skill. I don't try to compare myself to others. That's really a big thing for me. And just during practice, honing in on the things I do well and just tweaking those little things that could be better.
And so what is the next step for you? What are your goals as you still have another year and a half here at Illinois Wesleyan?
To bring 3 more home. That's the goal.
Sure. Getting ready for the spring or the outdoor here in a couple of weeks. What is your thought process now as you gear up for the spring?
Just kind of the same things, just focusing on myself, remembering yes, right now, it may seem like I'm on top of the world, but it is something you have to continue to work for. It's not something that's given, so that's just kind of where my head's at. Keep working for it.
And the program has grown in the last few years since you got here. What has it been like? How much has that helped, even though, as we've said, this is an individualized sport?
It helps so much. It really means the world. Similar to how coming out here and seeing the support, it just really helps you feel like what you're doing matters. Having a bigger team, our jump squad specifically, has grown so much since I've been here. My freshman year, we had 3 girl jumpers. Now we have almost close to 10, I think. And just having that support during practice to help you see things you may not notice yourself, and also sometimes to just ease the tension during meets. It means the world. It really does.
How much have your teammates looked to you for advice on how they can get better, and what do you tell them?
We all kind of help each other.
Sure.
I think during practices we kind of just talk kind of collectively on things that we struggle with, and so we try to help each other. I usually tell them, I'm listen, half the time, sometimes I'm still struggling with it, and I just tell them trust the coaches, trust what Coach Marino is telling us, because she really does know what's best. And it works out for us.
As we continue here with Imani Ogunribido, the national champion of the triple jump from last spring. Now in your junior year, can you walk us back to your decision to come to Illinois Wesleyan a few years ago?
Yeah, during my senior year, our old coach, head coach, was Stu, and he reached out, and I looked at the school, and I had a teammate from high school. She goes here, and so I kind of talked to her about it and what she thought, and I kind of fell for it. I mean, small school, and the program seemed something that was heading in a positive direction, so it's something I want to be a part of.
And now as you prepare for the spring season here as a psychology major, if you can tell us what you're thinking about long-term after school.
Ideally, I want to go into sports psychology and help other athletes at the collegiate or professional level, not just, be able to better their craft on the field or on the court, but mentally too, because the mental game is just as important as the physical.
How do you prepare yourself mentally for what you're about to do when you're coming up on a meet?
Most of it is just relaxing, trying not to think about little details, because you wrap your head in that, you can go crazy thinking about all the little different things you have to do. So keeping myself calm, keeping myself grounded, and just remember, at the end of the day, I do it because I enjoy it.
And I know that there has been a big focus here in the last couple of years, not just here at Illinois Wesleyan, but across the college sports landscape, about student athletes and their mental health and taking care of themselves and not letting those things perhaps overtake your mindset. Is that something that you've had to talk to your teammates about, or that you've tried to instill in them to not let things become too overwhelming?
Oh, definitely. I think also a part of having the bigger team is a part of that, having to talk to other people about how they're feeling during meets, because we spend a lot of time waiting in between jumps, so that's a lot of time to get in your head and to think. And by having the support, by having people around you, it helps keep you grounded. And I definitely do try to talk to my teammates and let them know it's really important to not harp on the little things and just look at the bigger picture.
All right, you got the Coach Shu Invitational next week.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
I'm excited. We've been away for a month or so now, and so it'll be nice to get back in the swing of things.
All right, well, we appreciate the time. Congratulations on the national championship, and looks like bigger and better things to come here in your last couple of years here at Illinois Wesleyan. Thanks so much for the time, and best of luck to you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All righty, thank you. Imani Ogunribido, junior Illinois Wesleyan national champion in the triple jump, and honored here at halftime at Shirk Center. We'll take another break and get you set for the second half in just a moment. This is Titan Basketball at 88.1 FM, WBSN, IWSports.com, and the CCIW Network.
I believe sportsmanship is a mutual admiration and respect for your fellow competitors. We all go through a lot to reach the point where we compete against one another. It's important to realize that. So once we're finally on the field or on the court or on the starting block, we look at each other as fellow human beings and not just competitors. Being able to recognize the hard work that other athletes are putting in creates a more positive and inclusive environment.
It's time to play Did You Know with Illinois Wesleyan. First off, true or false? On average, over half of tuition for accepted students is covered by scholarships and grants. True. IWU invests more than $40 million in scholarships and grants for students each year.
Where has IWU ranked in highest earning graduates among small schools in Illinois? If you guessed number 1, you got it. And what's even better, IWU is the number 1 college in Illinois for getting a job and number 7 in the nation.
Last question, how much does it cost to apply to Illinois Wesleyan? If you said nothing, well, you're right. There's absolutely no application fee. So what are you waiting for? Visit, apply, and see all the opportunities for success that await you at Illinois Wesleyan University.
Back at Shirk Center with Illinois Wesleyan leading 48-28 over North Park. Our thanks to Imani Ogunribido, the junior national champion in the triple jump here at Illinois Wesleyan. Titans up by 20, looking for the doubleheader sweep. The Wesleyan women had no trouble with North Park earlier today, 77-39, as they maintain their top spot in the CCIW. Other men's action today, they've gone to half in Waukesha. Milliken leads Carroll 30-25 at the break. Elmhurst on top of Augustana 35-31. And North Central with a 37-26 lead over Wheaton. They are at the intermission there. Here with the Titans up by 20. Look at the first half stats. The Titans shot 56% from the floor, 19 of 34, 6 of 15 from 3 for 40%, and 4 out of 7 at the free throw line for 57%. While the Vikings shot 36% from the floor, 10 out of 28, 3 of 15 from 3 for 20%, and 5 for 5 at the line. Titans had the rebounding edge, 18-17. Titans committed just 4 turnovers. North Park coughed up the ball 11 times in the first half. Titans led by Mason Funk with 14 points, 3 rebounds. Kason Lawrence with 9. Noah Cleveland 7 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. Brady Ruggles had 6 points. Carlo Kolak 5 points, 6 boards. David Williams 5 points, 3 boards, 2 assists. While Nathan Bolt, Brady Keel, Connor Williams did not score. North Park led by Colton Van Landingham's 8 points. Julian Campbell had 5. Mike Vukovic held to 4. Ja'Kai Gray and Tyvin Garrison both with 3. William Bates with 2. Jerome Smith Jr. with 1. The second half underway. Titans on the attack, going baseline. Nigo into the corner, tees it up to Kolak. His 3 is good.
Exactly what they drew up at halftime. Baseline drive right there by Jackson Nigo. They get a little help side defender, and that pass going right across that baseline is usually pretty effective.
Now Kolak now with 8 points. The Titans are up 51-28 in the opening minute of the half. North Park and the road blocked the drive into the paint. Vance got stuffed but fouled by Mason Funk, who gets his second infraction.
You got to wonder if they're just going to try to spread him out. Great camera angle. Nice job by those folks down there, knocking down the 3. Carlo Kolak from the corner. Got to wonder if North Park is just going to try to spread Illinois Wesleyan out, just attack the glass here in the second half. Obviously, the Titans don't want to foul having this lead right here, and just go after Illinois Wesleyan on the offensive end.
Vance, a 62% free throw shooter, their first miss today. 72% as a team, well off the mark on number 2. And the rebound to Mason Funk.
Well, the Titans had a great offensive possession on the first time down the floor. And we'll see if they're going to dig inside to the big guy here now. There's that high-low.
Kolak slides it down low to Cleveland. Cleveland around Campbell, reverses for 2.
Yeah, just not enough foot speed down there for Julian Campbell to keep up with the big guy. That's the first time we've seen the high-low here so far in this contest.
9 for Cleveland. They match their biggest lead of the game. Van Landingham powers in the runner. No, got it back and puts it in.
Yeah, that's difficult right there. You played really good defense, and now you're trying to keep Van Landingham off the glass. Talked about his rebounding numbers so far this year. He's a guard, but he plays a lot bigger than that.
10 for Van Landingham, 53-30. Kolak off the pick, pulls up, foul line Jay, long. Vance the rebound for the Vikings.
I like that shot for Illinois Wesleyan, though. Boy, if they can get Carlo knocking that down, turning the corner right there, that's a good sign.
53-30, jump step into the paint. Bates off the window, spun out. Campbell tipped it, Nigo tipped it. Funk runs it down, 4-on-2. Funk on the right side. Lawrence thought about it, didn't take it. Kolak back to Lawrence. Lawrence thought about it once again, has a good look, and long on this attempt. Tapped by Van Landingham. Nigo wins it down. Lobs into the corner to Funk. On the drive, the scoop, and the shot short.
Yeah, just left it a little bit short. Good move that time. Long closeouts that time for the Vikings.
Campbell now cross-court to Vukovic in transition. His 3 is good.
Yeah, tough that the Titans gave that one up right there. Looked like you were going to get an easy one to stretch to 24. They get a 3 to get back within 20. And again, you don't want to give North Park any confidence here in the second half. Don't want to let this lead slip here.
A second basket for Vukovic. You expect him to get hot here at some point. He was 1 for 5 in the first half. Around the horn it goes, into the corner to Funk. Funk against Vance, swings it out to Kolak. Kolak on the hesitation, had his pocket pick. Castillo to Vukovic. Vukovic with a 3-on-3. Looks right, finds Bates. Bates baseline, leaning in on Funk, who stuffed him.
That's as impressive defensive play as you will see. That is verticality at its best right there for Mason Funk.
Now it's Lawrence, off the pick by Funk. Pass to the right to Nigo, and a reach in on Van Landingham. Very tempted to go for the strip on the pass.
Yeah, see the replay right here. Baseline drive. Watch Mason Funk. That is impressive right there. You get that space, verticality all the way to the ceiling. You tell your guys to go straight up, called walling off that time. And boy, Mason did it about as well as you possibly can. I would almost have to go in a film on how to protect the basket.
53-33, Illinois Wesleyan ahead by 20. Nigo out near midcourt, journeys to the left side with a handoff to Kolak, lobbing it into the corner to Lawrence, covered by Vukovic. With the man-to-man defense, the drive by Nigo, the kick out to Kolak again. Kolak to the left, now turns to the right, leans in, he'll fade from 10, tough shot, no. Van Landingham off to Karam, the leading rebounder for the Vikings at 6'2", pulling down over 7 Karams a game. Baseline advance, in on his man, and he scores.
Yeah, you like what North Park did. They got one of the smaller guards that time, Jackson Nigo, posted up that time. So North Park gets it under 20 for the first time in quite a while.
53-35, Illinois Wesleyan. Nigo across the 10-second line, now to Funk up high. Back to Nigo, Vukovic in coverage. Nigo peers through the defense, now to Kolak on the right to Funk. Has a step, he'll back up, put up the shot. Got it for a push-off. And so Mason Funk, who did not get a foul until late in the first half, now has 3 early in the second.
Well, you don't see Coach Rose react like that very often.
So he'll come out of the game.
Yeah, really upset with that call right there. Yeah, didn't see much of a push-off as well on that particular play. I was kind of surprised when the call was made. Oh, my, yeah. Yeah, just nothing there at all. Well, that's unfortunate for the Titans.
Well, Coach Rose was hoping to keep Funk out of foul trouble so he can be more aggressive down the stretch when they need him most, but now he's on the bench here with a 20-point lead. Top of the circle, it's Gray. Back out deep to Van Landingham. Looks for a running start. Covered by Kolak. Flips it inside, and the turnaround good for Rosario Cornish.
Yeah, we saw Coach McGee saying, get up on him here. We see that full court pressure now here by North Park.
They've scored 9 straight, 53-37.
Yeah, you knew they were going to make a run, and the Titans will take a timeout. 16-point game right now, and talked about at halftime. Titans certainly not out of the woods with a 20-point halftime lead. Extended to 25 here in the second half. But North Park, they're a team that's going to keep coming at you. And when you play that style that North Park does, full court, get up and down, a little bit of chaos, hey, 25-point lead, they can cut into it very, very quickly. See if Titans get a good response out of the timeout, run a nice set. All of a sudden now Mason Funk finds himself on the bench again. Unfortunately for Mason, a couple of tough calls against him here. Going to have to play through that, though, get himself back on the floor. At this point in the game against Augustana, though, he had picked up his 4th foul in the second half. That really landed him on the bench. So we'll see what happens with that as we go along. The Titans get some good play, though, coming out of this timeout right here. Who can really step up? North Park's got to be feeling some confidence on the other side. Really stepping up, doing a nice job of getting to the basket here in the second half. Shooting the ball a lot better, but getting a lot better shots as well from the Vikings. They can make a run at you. 9 in a row here for North Park to trim that lead now to 16.
Just Thrive Health, founded with deep Titan athletics connections by Illinois Wesleyan, the baseball alum Billy Anderson and his wife Tina, proud parents of Titan basketball alumni Nina and Marco. Just Thrive Health, where Titan traditions thrive. Boy, the Titans have been banged up here in the past couple of weeks. Coach Rose talked about them feeling a little fatigued at practice yesterday. They played 5 games now in the last 12 days after the winter break, and they're ready for another one. They'll get a bye on Wednesday before they return to action against Wheaton on Saturday up at King Arena.
Yeah, get a little bit of rest.
Finish strong.
A little bit of rest before going on the road once again. It's been a nice homestand here for Illinois Wesleyan after being away from the Shirk Center for so long.
With the lob inside, there's your set, and there's your 2. Kolak to Cleveland.
Well done by the coaching staff, drawing that up in the timeout right there. That's how you keep long runs from happening. Timeout, good plays, really well done that time.
55-37 as the Titans end the dry spell. Kicked ball by Cleveland. Off pass from Cornish, so a reset that will stay with the Vikings.
Yeah, you might not think that's very substantial, but North Park had set up a clear backdoor cut on the backside, which was wide open. That probably would have been a bucket that time for the Vikings, but Noah Cleveland able to get a foot on that basketball.
55-37 off the screen, and boy, Bull tried to claw through that and got the whistle. That'll be his second and the team's 3rd of the half. Now Nigo comes out of the game. David Williams, who had a great first half, is back in.
Now you got to think then this ball is going to really funnel through Noah Cleveland here now with this team on the floor offensively. for Illinois Wesleyan.
Van Landingham over to Cornish. Eyeballs a three. Bricked it. Karam to Cleveland.
That shot not even close that time, though. And again, those are hard to rebound when they come off the glass that hard. Nice job by the Titans, able to get a hold of that one.
5 minutes gone by, half number 2. Van Landingham try to poke it away from Kolak. Stumbles. Now Kolak staggers to the baseline out to Cleveland. Cleveland backs down behind the back dribble. And a reach in as Cornish getting handsy on the reach in. And that is his third. Second of the half.
Now, one of the underrated parts of Noah's game is being able to step out, handle the ball a little bit out front. I've seen that multiple times here over the first part of his Illinois Wesleyan career.
Cross court to Bolt. Spun, lost the basketball. Picked up by Van Landingham. Watches his back. Takes it in with the bounce. Pass ahead for 2. Jerome Smith Jr. with the basket.
I talked about 6 assists per game. You saw one right there. That pass right on the money. Did everything. Getting the steal on one end and creating the basket on the other.
55-39 our score. Titans with the lead. Williams on the right side, top of the key to Bolt. Directs the left side to Lawrence. Lawrence looks to feed the post, does so here to Cleveland. Backing down on his man. Cornish leans in, turns, fires, too strong off the window. Karam's out to Garrison for the Vikings. Now to Smith in the front court. Smith holds the basketball behind the back dribble and now sets up the offense for the Vikings. Looks right off the pick by Cornish. Swings it wide left, Van Landingham a long 3. Shot it long. Rebound collected by Cleveland.
Just clearing the boards that time. Not a bad shot, though, by Van Landingham as nobody stopped the basketball on the other end.
Lawrence for 3. From the corner, it's good.
Yeah, nobody stopped Carlo Kolak. By the time they stopped him, the guy had to leave. Cason Lawrence, the last guy you want to leave at the three-point line, he knocks it home.
Lawrence now with a dozen 4 3-pointers today. And the Titans are up by 19, 58-39. Van Landingham off the screen. Inside to the left, ran into a double. Officials call a tie-up.
I think they called a foul.
Well, it could be a foul, could be a tie-up, could be a travel. It will be a foul on Carlo Kolak.
Yeah, just not a great call that time as Van Landingham just totally out of control in the lane. And unfortunately for the Titans, it doesn't go their way.
Second foul on Kolak. Brady Keel now
in. Coach Rose down there just not happy with the officiating. Same official that called that push-off against Mason Funk.
Nathan Bolt is out of the game now as the inbound comes in near midcourt, stolen by Cleveland. Flips it over to Kolak with a 3-on-3. Vikings get back. Kolak burrows inside for 2, but it falls off the rim. No good, but he got the foul.
Man, don't you love to see that little head and shoulder fake there? Boy, get to the 2-foot jump stop. A little head and shoulder fake, get the defender up in the air. Just love to finish it if you're Carlo right there. So strong with the basketball. Illinois Wesleyan now trying to make a little run here at North Park after the Vikings went on an 11-2 run. Cut into that Illinois Wesleyan lead.
Second foul on Vukovic as the first one is good for Kolak.
He's been so good today. As have the rest of the Titans. Really gotten themselves off to a wonderful start in this contest.
Kolak with 9 points, had a career-high 23 points in the win on Wednesday. Back in double figures here today. Lawrence is out. Brady Ruggles back in. Ruggles hit a couple of threes in the first half. The Titans are up 60-39 against a team that had some votes in the top 25 poll coming into this week. Looking to ascend into the national rankings, but they'll need a big comeback to do it today. Now a foul, moving pick called against the Vikings. That's going to be on Dylan Fusak.
It looked like Fusak set a pretty good screen that time out front. Had a nice wide base on that one. Carlo Kolak got hit pretty hard on that screen. And Titans by 21 here, coming up on the 13-minute mark of the ballgame.
Yeah, led by as many as 25 in the contest. Williams to the left. Swings it wide right to Kolak as he surveys back to Williams. Head fake, looks, feeds the post. Here it's Cleveland, a one-on-one against Fusak. Looking, puts the ball on the floor, gets into the paint. Had to lean in. Some clear contact between he and Fusak. And the post defender, Fusak, will get the whistle. The 6'8" senior from Geneva, Illinois.
You can see how good, though, Illinois Wesleyan's spacing is off that. Their movement off that when Noah gets the basketball.
Kolak off the inbound head fake, now backs it up here against Garrison. Takes off with a spin into the paint and a travel called against Kolak. A bit of a stumble on the kick out.
Yeah, had a nice kick out that time. Just couldn't quite keep his footing. Let's see if North Park can make another little run here to push the Titans at the finish line.
60-39, Titans with the lead. Rolling left to Smith. Smith off the pick, looking to the elbow. Into the corner. 3 on the way. Off at the front of the 10. Misfired by Garrison. Titans not pushing here. Now perhaps a delayed break. Pass into the corner to Keel. On the wing to Kolak. Back out Williams. Right side Ruggles. Baseline Cleveland. Used that gamble for the steal. Didn't get it. Had a layup attempt, but Cleveland couldn't knock it down. And a rebound to the Vikings. Vukovic had it stolen by Williams. It'll reach in on to Vukovic after the theft.
Yeah, how about David Williams? Another nice defensive play right there. Staying in front of the guard for North Park. Boy, Noah got inside that time. Great footwork. Just couldn't finish that play down on the offensive end. Now we see Brady Ruggles in the contest. And it seems like Brady's starting to find his comfort zone here coming off the bench. But what an offensive role he's got coming off that bench for Coach Rose.
Williams off the inbound. He'll walk it up, but the Titans up 60-39 across the dividing line with 12 minutes to go. As he directs traffic, one off the ball, top of the key to Keel. Had the ball stolen by Vance. Vance one-on-one. Williams sticks with him. Forced the layup, and he gets the N1.
Yeah, that time you just got to let him go right there. Brady Keel, love to see him just take one step up the lane to be able to catch that basketball. Get the defender to come over the top and draw a foul on that particular play.
Second foul on Williams, and the team's 5th. Both teams racking them up here in the second half as Vance, the freshman from Marist High School, looking for the three-point play. It spins out, and the rebound to Cleveland. 60-41. Williams hot foots into the front court. Ball knocked away from behind, and Vance picked it up, and a foul on the floor. Looked like Vukovic. Looked like he had his hand in the cookie jar as he pulls it back. And Vukovic gets his 4th. Boy, Vukovic having a tough day today with 7 points on 2 of 6 from the floor. And now exits with 4 fouls, likely for a good chunk. As we see David Williams going to the line for 2.
Yeah, 1-on-1 now for the Titans here the rest of the way. Maybe 2 shots eventually, so could be an advantage for Illinois Wesleyan.
David 3 for 4 at the line today. Spins out, so he only gets 1. And the rebound to Vance for the Vikings. Still a 19-point game. Smith all the way to the baseline. He had his pocket pick. Williams trapped, shovels it ahead to midcourt. Nice pass ahead to Keel. Going for the dunk and a hard foul by Van Landingham, challenging him at the baseline.
Yeah, nice job by Van Landingham, not giving up the dunk right there. And Brady Keel will head to the line. Another nice defensive play by David Williams. Great nice for David Williams here today.
A nice outlet, too, to Cleveland to midcourt to get the odd number advantage.
And David Williams has played 12 minutes in this contest, and they have all been solid here so far. 1 for 1 from the floor, 3 for 5 from the free throw line, but on the defensive end today. 2 steals coming in, just done a really nice job. Couple of assists, only 1 turnover. Now Mason Funk will come in with those 3 fouls, and we'll get Noah Cleveland on the bench here for the Titans. Brady Keel trying to get the back end of this free throw. Titans have missed a couple in a row here. As Keel looks for his first points of the game.
Titans free throw woes cropping up again. 6 of 11 at the stripe today. Missed another. Titans are have missed 3 in a row as it stays a 19-point game. On the right, Van Landingham looks to bulldoze his way inside. Throws it up over the backboard. But a whistle on the drive. A lead to a couple of free throws is Brady Keel. He gets his first whistle. Now 16 fouls on the Titans.
It'd be difficult to do, but you'd love to rotate over there and take a charge on a player that kind of has their head down on that particular play.
Van Landingham with 10 points. First one is good.
And Titans with 4 guys in double digits so far today. Van Landingham, first North Park Viking to reach double digits here this evening in the ballgame.
Yeah, 5 guys averaging 10 or more, led by Vukovic's 21. And Van Landingham now with a dozen. 60-43 as they continue to chip away. They've been down by as many as 25. Bounce pass ahead to Funk. He's back in with 3 fouls. Funk gets across the midline, being hand-checked by Garrison. Spin at the free throw line, pull up from 10. Off the back rim, no. Van Landingham with the outlet, galloping down court. Vance with the catch, glides in for 2.
Yeah, closest now that North Park has been in quite a while. Love to have that exchange back for Illinois Wesleyan as well. Mason Funk missing a shot on one end. It easily could have gone in.
60-45. Titans still have a cushion, but this game has never felt easy. With 10:40 to go in the second half. Into the corner, Ruggles squares for 3. Off the front rim, no. Now it's Van Landingham. Pedals across the timeline. Roams to the right. Barrels inside. Got stripped to reach in. A foul on the floor on Lawrence. So the foul on Lawrence is second. Van Landingham to the line. And this North Park team moving downhill on the offensive end. And they certainly feel the momentum in this one.
Yeah, good look at the replay right there. Yep, exactly what Kaysen was talking about right on top of the basketball. But anytime you reach down, you're asking for trouble, and that's certainly what happened to the Titans right there.
Van Landingham just hit 2 a minute ago. He gets a first here.
You got to think that North Park's just going to put their head down, get in the lane, make something happen in there. Now you think about what the Vikings have done here. They have shaved 11 points off that lead here in about the last 6 minutes. That's what they can do. So, yeah, clearly Illinois Wesleyan's going to have a fight on their hands the rest of the way.
After they erased an 18-point lead at North Central and won in overtime just 3 days ago. 60-47. Hook pass over to Lawrence. And the Titans will slow it down. You don't want this team to become too hesitant, too cautious, too reserved. You want to see them play the way they did in the first half. Bounce pass, boy. Mason Funk was draped by Van Landingham, who gets the steal with a 2.
And now North Park will take a timeout here, down to 11, as nice play again. And we've seen that a couple of times here when North Park is able to get up into the passing lane and get a steal. It's kind of that same play we saw with Brady Keel, almost like a post up on the wing, post up at the elbow. You just can't hold off the defender trying to get that pass into the offense. And North Park doing a great job coming over the top. Sometimes when you have a big lead, you start to get a little tight as the team starts to make a comeback. That happens to everybody. And when you're behind by 25, you start playing very loose. That can happen sometimes. That's what we're seeing out on the floor right now. Titans are just going to have to be more efficient on the offensive end here in the last 10:07 of the contest. And even more importantly, on the defensive end, do a better job of keeping North Park out of the lane. But this is probably the Vikings team that they've seen all year out in front of us right now. They've been a really good basketball team all year, fully on display now in the second half.
Well, the Titans have had a hard time finishing with leads in the second half of this year, but they've had none as big as the one that they had here in this one, up by 25 points in the second half. It's down to 11 with 10:07 to go as Funk whips the ball in play off of the inbound to Kaysen Lawrence on the left baseline. He is pressured here by Van Landingham as they go back into the man-to-man in the half court. As Lawrence has his pass tipped. Lawrence, Cleveland with the recovery. Out to Kolak, open for 3. Got it.
Oh, a big shot by Carlo Kolak, and fortunately for the Titans, they didn't turn it over again. North Park did a nice job, though, of bringing the ball back up the floor.
Lob to Vance, drew the contact on Kolak. Looked like he went straight up, but he got the whistle on the shot.
Now, the one thing you need to do is, you're going to have to get back with transition defense. Titans didn't do it right there. Boy, that ball just got over the fingertips of Noah Cleveland on that particular play. But North Park's going to push it right back at you.
Third foul on Kolak, and the first is good for Marquise Vance, now with 9 points.
This is one of the advantages of playing the style North Park does. You never feel like you're out of a basketball game. You're constantly in it. Different guys coming in, open to shoot those three-pointers, and now they got it rolling a little bit.
Yeah, very much a momentum team as they cut the lead to 13. 1 of 2 goes, and it's Lawrence on the attack for the Titans. Out to Funk, top of the key. Looks over the defense, couple of bounces to the right side. Held up, swings it wide right to Lawrence. Lawrence now puts on the brakes in the wing. Back out to Funk. Funk on the cut, and he goes with the free throw line. Shovels it back out to Lawrence. Lawrence hedging, moves in, backs up. Tough fadeaway 3, no good. And 2 Vikings there for the rebound. Van Landingham claims it.
Nice job by North Park taking Kaysen off that three-point line that time. Really well done.
Van Landingham sidesteps, pops a 3. It's long. Ball hit off the head of Kolak. And a Viking player went to save it. It goes to the Vikings, and Joseph got a timeout. For the Vikings, looked like he got hit in the head, perhaps.
Yeah, might have been a foul that time, and Illinois Wesleyan might have gotten away with one right there. Holden Van Landingham, a little step back three, just wouldn't quite go down. That would have gotten it to 10 that time for North Park. You can see Carlo Kolak, just couldn't corral that rebound on the backside. Good hustle on both teams and a good job that time. Coach McGee getting that timeout to save possession here for North Park. Possessions will be so vitally important on both sides. We'll see if the Titans can stem the tide here a little bit of this big run by North Park. Under 9, still a 13-point lead. Run your offense, get the ball inside of the big guy. And you've noticed that Julian Campbell now has kind of been on the bench for North Park. They're going to go small, pick and pop the rest of the way, Eric. They're just going to try to spread Illinois Wesleyan out as much as possible. So we'll see if they can get that ball inside of the big guy. We'll see what North Park does with that here the rest of the way.
Yeah, it's been what's certainly working for them today as they have a 63-50 game with 8:58 remaining here in regulation. When it comes to lunch, one thing that makes it great is variety. Biaggi's lunch menu is packed with a variety, from a selection of freshly tossed salads and specialty sandwiches to the popular lunch half and half. That includes the choice of 2 items: soup, salad, a half pizza, or a half sandwich. Lunch at Biaggi's always fresh, it's fast and definitely filling. Lunch at Biaggi's open daily at 11 a.m. at 3010 East Empire Street. To view menus or place an order for curbside pickup, visit Biaggi's.com.
Yeah, you look at the numbers here so far. North Park behind on the scoreboard, but still doing a good job getting the line. 10 out of 14 there, and they're +2 on the boards here so far in this contest as well.
Yeah, Titans had the edge at halftime, but North Park has overtaken them as Van Landingham tries to peer through. Ball knocked away underneath Van Landingham. Got it back underneath the half circle. No good. Tipped off the backboard, and Nigo corrals it for the Titans. Bounce pass head to Kolak. Accelerates to the goal. Flips it up. No. Hard fall to the floor for Carlo. I think it's back up a foul here against the Vikings.
Yeah, trying to take advantage of North Park's aggressiveness. Getting the ball up the floor, and Carlo Kolak attacking the glass there for Illinois Wesleyan. Boy, Titans 9 out of 21 from the three-point line so far in this game. That's a really good number out there at 43%. North Park just 4 out of 20 here behind the arc here in this contest. Usually shoot it much better than that. But with Vukovic, though, having foul trouble, him being on the bench, that does not help them in that particular area. We'll see if Coach McGee comes back with him as Kolak's first free throw is up and good. It'll be interesting, Eric, because this group has played so well with him on the bench that they come back with him here now in the last 8:43.
So 14 for Carlo Kolak as he makes the first one more coming. Lines it up and threads it through.
Now Julian Campbell now coming back in the game. Campbell gives them that pick and pop player, maybe a little bit more size against Noah Cleveland, and just might need to get a rest there for Lazario Cornish be going to the bench.
So Cornish with 4 fouls, and the Titans are up 65-50.
They got a zone here, Eric. The Titans are going zone. Probably getting beaten on too much dribble penetration, they felt like.
They're going to download the kick out. The ball reversal on the left side to Gray for 3, and he knocks it down. And it's a 12-point game.
Yeah, inside out, really nice job. You get that ball in the high post. That's exactly how you break down a zone right there. High post, kick out to the wing, knocking the 3. It looks awfully nice when the 3 goes in.
It's a 12-point game. As Nigo walks it up out near midcourt, sets up on the right side now to Cleveland, out between the rings. As he looks over the defense, swings it wide right to Nigo. Nigo looks for a post touch, instead out to Kolak for 3. A long bomb, no. Joseph the rebound, or make that Vance for the Vikings. 12-point game, 8 minutes to go. Cross court to Vance, into the corner to Campbell. Back out to Vance, strokes a 3, handed his face, shot it long. That was early in the shot clock. Funk gets the rebound.
Now still North Park, trying to battle back in this contest. Playing free right now. Let it go.
Boy, Van Landingham will make that great gamble for the steal. Didn't get it. Frees it up for Lawrence, who buries a 3 from the right way.
Well, you notice, though, difference is Jackson Nigo moving towards the pass, meeting the ball there, not letting the defender cut that lane like he wanted to, and it cost North Park 3 points.
5 trays for Lawrence, now 5 of 8 from deep today. A 15-point game. Lob advance, the catch down deep. Got stripped by Noah Cleveland on the double team. Now back the other way. The bounce pass into the corner to Kolak. Now to Funk. Back out to Nigo. Open for a moment. Now directs it all the wing. Baseline, it goes to Cleveland. Cleveland draws the double, pushes it back out. Ball tipped. Didn't get a clean pass. And then Kolak tipped it, and the steal to Vance for the Vikings. Front court, it's Gray. Gray on the wing. Van Landingham Out at the volleyball line, stares down his man off the screen, knifing in traffic, moving inside the double clutch, and the deuce no good, tipped out by Kolak for the Titans.
Boy, Titans fortunate there. Colton's going to make that probably 90% of the time. Boy, they got very fortunate.
6:35 to go, Titans by 15. Left of the lane, it's Funk. Now up top to Kolak, and directs traffic on the right wing. Now trying to get the ball to the post, instead up top to Funk. Funk with a head fake, moves in on Vance, stumbles at the free throw line. A trip up, and Vance will get the foul.
I think that might be 10 against the Vikings. We'll see if we're correct on that. Yep. That is double bonus now for Illinois Wesleyan. Boy, that makes a significant difference for the Titans here. 6:21 to go. North Park got this thing to 11. Illinois Wesleyan's had a nice response since then, keeping their composure. Sometimes it can be difficult to play on a lead. It's a good problem to have, no doubt about it. But it can be difficult sometimes as you kind of see that lead dwindling, as we mentioned, to tighten up a little bit. But good response by the Titans.
First one is good. That takes a little pressure off the Titans' free throw shooting, which has not been great today, 57%. They're 63% for the year, which is last in the conference, but they've had some good outings in their last couple. See if they can make them here down the stretch, and 2 in a row here for Mason Funk, now with a team-high 16 points.
And now able to extend that lead back out to 17 again, and we'll see if they can make a few more stops and cruise home here the rest of the way.
70-53, the green and white, or the green and gray here today with the lead. Inside Van Landingham, hard of the glass off the backboard, no good. But a foul, Kolak was backpedaling, and he picks up the foul, his 4th.
And once Van Landingham gets that angle on you, you're in trouble. He knows exactly what to do. He knows how to use the body to get in there and draw some contact. And if you're not riding alongside of you, he's going to get the angle on you, be able to score. That's what you can't let him do. Can't let him turn that sharp corner. Got to fan him to the outside.
First one is good for Van Landingham, who's made all 7 at the stripe today. Cornish is back in with 4 fouls. Garrison is out. Vukovic exits. He has 4 fouls.
Yeah, they're going double point guard here, Eric. You don't see this very often with both David and Jackson on the floor at the same time. Actually, 3 guards who can all handle the ball now, because Kason Lawrence is out there as well for Illinois Wesleyan. It's almost like you have 3 point guards on the floor right now for the Titans. Mason Funk then, and also then the big guy, Noah, inside.
Yeah, so they are certainly looking for their ball handlers here as both free throws go for Van Landingham. Titans have had 11 turnovers in this one. It's a 15-point game. They break the press here. Williams at the free throw line, holds the rock, fills it into Funk. He'll pull up from 12, and the shot wide left. Van Landingham with the rebound with under 6 minutes to go. Vance is draped there by Funk. Kicks the ball back out. Open 3. Garrison is long. Pulled down by Vance with a hard dribble, tipped away and pinballed out of bounds off of Cornish. It goes back to the Titans.
I know Mason Funk, maybe a quick shot, but I like it. I think you got to attack. I don't think you can just settle back here and just kind of grind this game out. Keep playing basketball here against North Park.
With a 15-point lead, Titans have led by as many as 25, but the Vikings have been once again proven difficult to be vanquished here today, as the Titans get a timeout with 5:35 to go at a 70-55 advantage.
Now, if you get to the 3-minute mark, at that point then, now let's pull it back out. Let's play the clock. There's just too much time left in this game to be trying to play not to lose here. The Titans need to keep going forward with this 15-point lead.
70-55, 5:35 on the clock. Titan fans, you can make a difference for Illinois Wesleyan Athletics. By supporting the Titan Athletics Fund, you're helping provide opportunities for student-athletes to succeed both on and off the court and field. Every gift strengthens our programs, facilities, and the overall Titan experience. If you'd like to support the free live streams of every Titan Athletics event, simply select the Athletic Communications Department when making your gift. It's quick and easy. Just visit iwsports.com and click on Support the Titans. Join us in keeping Titan pride strong today and for generations to come. And, of course, we bring the audio broadcast of every Illinois Wesleyan road game in the men's basketball season, and for the women as well. We will be at Wheaton and King Arena on Saturday for the doubleheader, with games at 5 and 7 o'clock. The men get a bye on Wednesday, while the women will be here at Shirk Center against Milliken for a 7 p.m. tip. The Titan women won earlier today over the Vikings, and the men looking to finish the sweep. Titans have the ball with the half-court inbound. And Case and Lawrence to trigger, with Williams and Ego on the floor, the other guards, along with the Funk and Cleveland. On the one hop into Funk, and they'll set up shop. Just short of midcourt, Funk steps up, no shot. Gets the handoff back from Cleveland, has a good look at a three ball, knocks it down.
Yeah, keep on playing, right? Get an open look. You'd have taken it the other 35 minutes of the game. Take it right there.
19 for Mason Funk, 73-55 Titans. Off the screen, Van Landingham. His bounce pass to the post was kicked by Cleveland.
And I can see nobody jumped out of Mason Funk, and Julian Campbell a little bit too late getting out right there. Mason knocks down that three-pointer to extend that lead here once again. We'll see if North Park has one more push here before this game ends.
Ja'Kai Gray now to Van Landingham into the paint. Takes it up strong, does not fall. Got it back, powers it up and around. Falls off the rim again. Loose, bobbled. Cleveland has it. Rustles the ball away, and the Titans got a timeout before the Vikings were able to take it away. A 30-second timeout with 4:59 remaining. The Titans up by 18. Boy, some real missed opportunities there for the Vikings.
Yeah, certainly, and Van Landingham going down inside. But again, you're shooting over some tall timber inside there as well for a 6'2 guard. Well, you appreciate Noah Cleveland. He gets that rebound, he chins it, he's strong with it. It's exactly what you teach the big guy to be able to do. As soon as they bring it down, they're going to swarm you, right? Nice job that time by Cleveland controlling that basketball down there. Right now, if you're in the North Park huddle, I think you're going to really start to come out and see some pressure here now from the Vikings really start to ramp up. They're going to have to face guard all over the floor and really put some pressure on the ball. You're going to see full court traps. And I think that's got to be the message right now in that Illinois Wesleyan huddle. Hey, we got to be ready for anything. Got to be ready for a trap, first of all. Try to keep the ball out of the corner, guys, as much as we possibly can. Try to keep the ball in the center of the floor. And, hey, if we get something open on the other end, we're attacking the basket.
Funk with the inbound. On the baseline to Nego. Nego is doubled. Centers the ball to Funk. Funk floats the ball ahead to Lawrence. Numbers are there, but the Titans will slow it down as the Vikings get back. Not rushing a shot here. Cleveland comes out to set a screen for Nego, and he got the moving pick. Foul on Noah Cleveland.
Yeah, the official said he got his knee out there. I had a good look at that one. That was a pretty good pick set that time by Noah Cleveland. That's an unfortunate call against the Titans.
So his second foul gives the ball back to North Park.
Now we'll take a good look at the replay right here. Yeah.
Vukovic is back in for the Vikings. They'll need him to get hot here down the stretch. He has been held in check so far. Van Landingham with the crossover dribble on David Williams. Goes to baseline, cross-courts the ball into the corner. Three by Garrison is long. Rebound to Funk, lobs head to David Williams. Williams into the front court, puts all the brakes on the left wing. Now back out to Funk as they slow it down here with an 18-point lead. Funk again to the top, slipped away, got it back. Back on the dribble, spin, ran into trouble as he backed down to the free throw line and got bailed out. That's on Ja'Kai Gray. His first, and Funk goes to the line. Both teams in the double bonus for the remainder. And Funk is 2 for 4 today. First one is through. A 69% free throw shooter for the junior from University High School across town in Normal. And he gets a pair here.
The lowest scoring output of the season for North Park was 66 points. That was against Wisconsin Eau Claire. 55 on the board right now with 4 to go. So the Titans have been pretty sound defensively.
Ball kicked by Gray, but kept it alive now to Vukovic in the corner. Back out to Gray, a well-contested three. It's long. Tip, boy, Vukovic with a hard fall to the floor. You hear a gasp from the fans nearby, but he gets back up, he's okay.
Now, Titans have done a great job weathering the storm here in the second half, and a foul now here coming up against North Park is going to send Noah Cleveland to the line. Things got a little nervous here at the Shirk Center. This league got down to 11. North Park had some possessions to try to get it to 10 as well. the Titans were able to weather the storm here in the second half and really did a nice job to hold off a North Park team who has exceptional ability to put spurts on the board, and just a really good reaction by the Titans when that lead started to dwindle.
First one, a perfect swish for Noah Cleveland, now with 12 points.
We talked about it maybe in the preseason as we kind of get into the season, how good Illinois Wesleyan's offense was going to be, but their defense has really stepped up this year. It's been really impressive what they've been able to do at the defensive end. Let's see if they can keep it going here in the last 3:45.
1 of 2 for Cleveland, 76-55 with under 4 minutes to go. It's Gray on the baseline, whips the ball out to Campbell. Campbell sets a screen for Vukovic, knifing his way inside, but he's cut off here by Cleveland. Out to Van Landingham, a long three, well contested, and it's missed. Rebound for the Titans. In traffic, it's Williams on the right to Nigo. They'll slow it down into the corner. Funk for three. Got it.
Why not? Keep on playing. Mason Funk. Boy, that lead back to 24. What a run by the Titans.
And 24 for Mason Funk himself as the Titans are starting to pull away here late. Campbell on the left of Van Landingham, slashing inside into the corner. They rotate out to Vukovic. Ball tipped. The block by Cleveland. The outlet to Noah, 2-on-1. Cleveland, the lob to Noah, broken up by Campbell. Boy, would have liked a little more air under that. Now back the other way to Vukovic. Vukovic barrels inside on Funk, flips it up, got the whistle. And Vukovic trying to force the action, gets the foul on Funk.
Yeah, Mason trying his best not to foul right there. He's backing up. It's going straight up. And just got his feet tangled up that time with the offensive player. Just sometimes you just can't avoid them. It's kind of the way it works in basketball.
So Vukovic at the line, a swish on the first.
And he's had a tough day. Titans have defended him extremely well. He comes in averaging over 20 points per game, but you can see that offensive leader is still cold in Van Landingham. All the things that he does for them. He is that spark plug back in there. Second free throw up and good. Now the Titans will still have to go to North Park, and you know what that's always been for Illinois Wesleyan. Always a difficult place to go. North Park always does a great job defending their home court.
79-57. They break the press ball, broke it up, and Vukovic gets the steal. Vukovic pedals into the front court. He got Lawrence on the back pedal, and Kason Lawrence picks up the foul. Not what the Titans want to do here with a 22-point lead, but again, Vukovic forcing the issue. Now he'll shoot 2 more. Now with 8 points, and the first one rims off. No good.
The key here for Illinois Wesleyan now is get a clean inbound. No turnovers. Take your time on the offensive end. Move that ball around. Work that clock. And cruise home into the winner's circle.
As the Titans wrap up a 3-game homestand, looking for a 3rd straight victory and a good win against a very good North Park team.
Yeah, this is a good North Park team. Totally agree with that. It's a team that's going to cause a lot of people in the CCIW some problems. I think even more important for Illinois Wesleyan is they kind of found their legs in the conference a little bit here with this 3-game winning streak.
Kolak baseline. Floater was tipped off the backboard. Garrison now to Vance. Vance over the crossover baseline around Nigo, does not foul, but the shot was short. Funk gathers it in now with the 2 minutes to go. Titans slow it down, spread the floor here with a 21-point advantage over the Vikings.
And no reason to be in a hurry now, as doesn't look like North Park's going to give up a foul. Down by 21 here, but see if Coach Rose will get a chance to empty the bench here now in the last couple minutes.
Out to Funk. Funk for 3. Off the heel, high in the air. No. Campbell pulls it down. Now with a 21-point game. Left wing. Quick 3 on the way. Long for Gray. Vance goes back up and around and out. No. But he got the foul here against Kolak. And Kolak has just fouled out as he leaves with 15 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. David Williams back in.
Well, that was a solid game by Carlo Kolak today. He is really rounding into form here this season. He's had a great home stretch here now. His free throw up and in. Make it 79-59, but boy, Titans are so fortunate to have the 2 wings they have in Kolak and Funk. Guys who can play on the defensive end, shoot the ball from the outside. Really good all-around player. Second free throw is no good as well there for North Park, and they'll knock it out of bounds. And 1:21 to go, and maybe Coach Rose will not have a chance to empty the bench here in the last 1:21 of the game.
Well, it'll be about 5 weeks from now. These 2 teams will rematch up in the Windy City on February the 18th, a Wednesday night game. Now with a minute 12 to go, Titans with a 20-point lead. Nigo just being watched by Vukovic, but they are not fouling. So now a couple of reserves are coming to the scorer's table. Ball tipped off the fingertips of Cason Lawrence out of bounds, and Brady Keel comes back in. Connor Williams, who had a few moments in the first half. Cason Lawrence exits with 5 3-point buckets today, 15 points, and another ho-hum double-double from Noah Cleveland, 12 points, 10 rebounds, 4 blocks and 3 steals, and 4 assists.
Yeah, he played a really nice basketball game. It just shows you just how unselfish Noah is. Great stat line still, and boy, he was terrific.
Campbell for 3, tried to bank it in above the window, no good, above the square. Now Williams ahead to Mason Funk, bumped as he got across half court, and they forced him to step out of bounds. So that'll give it back to the Vikings. The fans wanted a foul there, but Funk will now exit, and Nathan Bull will be out there for the final 33.8.
Boy, the fact that they were able to hold North Park under 60 to this point, that is really impressive. A team averaging 91 a game. That is an impressive defensive effort.
Yeah, for the fans not watching this one, they'll check the scores later. They'll be pretty stunned that the Vikings were held to under 60 points unless they can get one last bucket. The drive on the baseline, the fade, the turnaround by Gray, no good. Williams the rebound, and that's going to wrap it up. Looks like they'll have to get it across half court. David Williams at the controls. Trapped at midcourt, strip. There's a steal. They got a chance to tack on 2 more, and they do. But I believe that was late, and in fact it was, as the Titans keep the North Park Vikings under 60 points. A remarkable defensive showing for Ron Rose's team as they get the victory 79-59, the final, as Illinois Wesleyan gets their 6th straight victory. And a perfect homestand comes to a close. 79-59 final. Our player guest comes up next. We'll hear from Coach Ron Rose as well. This is Illinois Wesleyan Titan Basketball at 88.1 FM, WESN, IWSports.com, and the CCIW Network.
They say every challenge holds an opportunity. At Illinois Wesleyan, you've got the power to seize it. Here you'll find the tools, mentors, and real-world experiences to take on any challenge and become the person you're meant to be. The best college in Illinois for landing a job? You're looking at it.
Tap or click now to start your free application
and break through at Illinois Wesleyan University.
At NCAA championships, noise is made here. Memories are made here. Champions win here. The only thing missing here is you. The NCAA Division III Women's Volleyball Championship, coming to Bloomington, Illinois this December. Get your seats at ncaa.com/tickets.
And welcome back to Shirk Center here at Illinois Wesleyan. Eric Stock with Joel Swanson as we continue on our post-game show. And David Williams, the Illinois Wesleyan senior, will be joining us here in just a moment. Big win for the Titans here today. We're just trying to get untangled here at the here at our perch here at Shirk Center. Now David Williams joining us. David, you can hear me okay? Let's go ahead and roll. Congratulations. What a defensive performance today. This team was scoring 91 a game coming in. You hold them under 60. How did you guys do it?
Yeah, well, we had a big emphasis this week on defense. So, our white squad did a great job getting us ready, and our coaches did a good job coaching us up, and that was really a big emphasis today, just defense, playing every possession.
Also must have been an emphasis on ball handling as well. You guys saw constant pressure from North Park for 40 minutes.
Yeah. Big emphasis today on taking care of the ball. I think we did a great job. It helped. Our teammates were always there, being available, so they helped a ton. So it was a great team win.
Yeah, talk about the scouting report for North Park. Are they different than many of the teams you've seen so far this year? Did you guys have a comp of who you played so far this year with North Park?
Yeah, I would say they're definitely different than anybody we played. They have 10 guys who have great splits. They all can shoot the ball. 5 guys out there at any time who can play, and they were a hard team to guard. But we kind of did it by just having each other's back. If one guy got beat, our help side today was really great.
Let's start with number 4, Mike Vukovic, obviously coming in averaging over 20 points per game. What was the scouting report on him, and how did you guys feel like you held him under his average today?
Yeah, scouting report was he scored all 3 levels, and it was going to be 5 guys versus, it wasn't going to be one-on-one with him. It was going to be 5 guys on the ball. He's a great player, and we did a good job. We did as good as we could, and we held him to, I don't know how many he had, but
yeah, he ended up with 10, so you halved his average right there. So nice job on him. Talk about just dealing with North Park's offense, kind of spreading you out and dealing a lot with the pick and pop and the ball screen out front.
Yeah, we knew we were going to guard a bunch of ball screens today, so we practiced that for a couple of days, and we were ready for it, and a big emphasis on not staying with your man, being in the gaps, and me and Jackson being in a lot of ball screens today, it helped. With our teammates were right there in the gaps. They helped us a ton.
Yeah, talk about being in the gap. Exactly what does that mean, and what does that mean for the help side defenders?
Yeah, Coach Rose says doing more than one thing. So, not just guarding your man, being in the gap, helping the guy out, making sure that offensive player doesn't see a lane, and, we did a great job of that today, I thought.
Also an emphasis, I'm sure, on transition defense, getting back on defense. North Park had some transition basketball, but you really did a nice job cutting that down as the game went on.
Yeah, we knew coming into the game, like they get 27% of their offense is in transition, so we knew that was going to be a big part of the game. Point guard slowing up the ball, and then everybody else finding their man, limiting, the pitch aheads, and so that was a huge emphasis today, and I think we did a good job in transition.
Well, the depth of this team put to the test with a couple of injuries, of course, losing Josh Fridman early on, and you've had to kind of step into a larger role. But what has that process been for you now as a senior and one of the leaders of this team and one of the go-to guys?
Yeah, coaches always tell us, every guy on our team can play, and we all know that. We got a bunch of guys on our white squad who can play, and he always just says stay ready, and so that's kind of what I try to do, and just be ready when my time came, and I'm just trying to make the most of it.
Well, it's been a grind here the last couple of weeks. This is 5 games just in the last 12 days, and kind of get the feeling that it's been a real slog, even though you guys have played maybe your best basketball here over the last 2 weeks. But what has that been like as you get into the grind of the season and trying to stay at that high level?
Yeah, it's certainly a grind, but it's the best part of basketball season. Sure. Just right when conference play starts, Wednesday, Saturday, every week, and it's a lot of fun. It's definitely a grind. It's been nice having a 3-game home stretch. It's great to be back at Shirk. So,
yeah, the homestand comes to a close here, but with 3 straight victories, and now you get a bit of a break. You get Wednesday off and getting ready for Wheaton on Saturday. What are your thoughts here as you head down the home stretch? We're almost to the halfway point of conference play now.
Yeah, CCIW is loaded this year, so every game's a big game, and so we're going to prepare to the best of our ability. Hopefully, get out with a win.
And goals for you for the rest of your senior campaign?
I want to get championships, CCIW championship, NCAA championship.
I love to hear that.
All right, David, thank you so much for the time. Congratulations on the great performance today and the Titan victory. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Illinois Wesleyan senior David Williams, our guest here on the post-game show.
Thanks, David.
With a great effort here today, 5 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and a plus 17 in his 16 minutes of game action, and one of the many role players who came up big today and really has in the last couple of weeks during this win streak.
Yeah, we've seen it over the last 3 games when David comes in, knowing his role, what he's got to do, solid defense. Don't turn the basketball over. Run the basketball team. We saw some offensive flashes from David as well. And as he builds confidence on the offensive end, watch out for that guy. Really nice job coming off the bench. And you know what, Eric, sometimes when you have a major injury like Josh, it takes a while for everybody to kind of settle back into their roles again. What are the new roles in the team? What am I supposed to do at this point? And I think the team has done a really nice job and kind of found their footing since then.
79-59 the final as the Titans improved to 12-3 on the season, 4-2 in the CCIW, while North Park drops to 3-2 in the league and 10-4 overall. We'll review the final numbers in a moment. First, in the other league play, Carroll and Milliken are tied at 65. They're now going to overtime. Elmhurst has a 71-64 lead over Augustana. They're in the final minute there, and North Central is ahead of Wheaton 70-65 in Naperville. So Coach Rose is making his way up now, so we get his thoughts on this Titan victory. Number 12 on the year here today.
Who'd you talk to?
That's how we talked to David Williams.
Well, he's not that much taller than me, but that's still a big step for me.
Yeah, David played a really nice game off the bench, but, Coach, you could go down the line of games, guys that played good games today, especially that first half was just outstanding for your team.
Yeah, that gives you, I think that as you start thinking about our team and where we want to head, how we want to play, that gives a snapshot of a good picture of what we'd like to be like. And certainly when you're up 20 at half, it dramatizes that. But the style in which we played, like defensively, especially if you take out the last 3.5 minutes, we were outstanding. We were stopping the ball early. We were in gaps. This week we really talked about, there's 5 guys that guard the ball, but it should feel like there's 8 of us out there. And I thought we were so active in rotations when they drove it. I thought our size really made a difference. I thought we kind of swallowed up some of their penetration. The second half, not as much. And we've got to move beyond that. I think what happens a lot is when the defense is in front of your bench, you've got everybody on the bench talking, sure, and there's energy and there's instruction, and we've got to move to where the 5 guys, when the defense is away, is just as on point. But I also, offensively, the ball moved really well. Found the open man. Second half, I thought we got more attentive. One thing we talked about was attacking their press, attacking in transition. Kind of what Eric, you and I talked about is we wanted to play a fast pace, but not allow it to be chaotic. I thought the second half, we put the brakes on too early, and what that did is then they started loading up and pressuring more. Instead of us kind of keeping them on their heels, they got us on our heels.
Well, having a 25-point lead in the second half, good problem to have, but also the tightness of the team with the lead and the looseness of the team coming back sometimes, boy, it plays into that second half. It's a good problem to have, but it also is a teaching moment as well of how to play with that lead.
That's a really good point, Joel, because North Park's playing free and easy, aggressive. They're driving it. They're finding people. They're playing with the sense of urgency that I thought we did the first half. And so that's a terrific point. I think had we played with the same intensity or the same mindset the second half, we just didn't get our defense set. But that is a terrific point that I will be making with the team, because you see that all the time, don't you? The team that's down suddenly knows they have to play fast. They have to. They can't sit back and wait for things to happen. So. Great teaching point. You love it. You win by 20, you're not satisfied, and I think this is a good stepping stone for our team.
Talk about Noah today, 12 points, 10 rebounds, but I thought he looked so comfortable on the floor with everything that is going on around him, and a guy who can dominate a game without having to put a ton of points on the board while every player kind of playing off of him down in that low post.
It looked like the game slowed down for him, didn't it?
Sure did.
And here's the dirty little secret. He's got a sore elbow. And so early on, I think he was thinking pass first. And as a result, I think he started seeing things open up. And so I think it's a great lesson for him. He was thinking pass first, and then I think once he started making some great passes, then he made some nice moves as well. But big kudos to both Noah for playing through a sore elbow, and Carlo has had a sore back for the last couple weeks. He's continued to kind of grind through this. I think it was our 5th game in, was it 12 days?
12 days, yeah.
5th game in 12 days, and in 5 physical games, 5 intense games. I was really concerned that we were tired. Like yesterday was a little bit of a lethargic practice, but our guys really came out and responded and played well that first half.
Yeah, they certainly did. And when you look at that number up on the scoreboard, 59, that is an awesome number for a team averaging 91. Below. Yeah, 91 coming in, 59. That's an engaged defensive team.
That was, and it was 20 the first 7. I think they had 20 points with 3 minutes to go in the half.
Yeah.
So I thought especially there we set a tone. Like I said, the last 3 minutes I didn't love. I did think as the game wore on, the very end of the game, our guys tightened that up also. So you're right. Terrific defensive effort to have a team 30 points under their average.
Good chance for you to maybe talk about David Williams a little bit, what he means to you now coming off the bench. And I thought today a guy who played his role to perfection is a good way to put it.
Plus 17 in 17 minutes. So in his every minute he was on the floor, we won by 1. And so, and he does. We talk a little bit about Notre Dame, Dave, what a leader he is, the energy, the competitor, and now he, as a senior, having been in the program for 4 years, he understands what we need of him and what the team needs. And so it's great to have that veteran leadership and poise and energy. I thought when we put him into the game the second half, I said, David, we need some energy here.
Mm-hmm.
And he brings it. And I think, he's had injuries his last couple years. He continues to get better as a senior because he's getting his first real meaningful experience during games here this year. So I'm happy for David and appreciate what he brings to the team for sure.
And for him to come back the way he did at the end of last season when he was battling a foot injury and there was no real likelihood for him to even be healthy enough to come back at the end of the year, but he stuck all the way through and had a chance to play at the end, and that seems to have built some momentum going into his senior year.
He's a high character guy. He's one of those, and our guys, we got a lot of those guys, but he's a guy you really cheer for. And guys that have been in the program and have paid their dues and kept working. And, there's been games this year he hasn't played at all. You would never know.
Yeah.
You'd never know. And that's really hard because disappointment's real. He wants to play. He's a competitor. But he is a team-first guy. I know that. Everybody on the team knows that. And guys really are excited when he does well.
I got to tell you about my favorite play of the season so far. It was Noah Cleveland bounce pass to your point guard David Williams for the layup.
How about that?
I thought that was awesome. One-handed bounce pass, but it shows Noah's got some skills on the perimeter as well. He can handle that basketball, and I just love dropping the bounce pass dime right there to your point guard.
He's not just talented, but he's really smart.
Yeah.
And he's fundamental, and he's unselfish. And I think that's starting to permeate the entire team. We had 15 assists, which is a little lower than I thought. I thought we might have some more. I think we had quite a few at halftime, maybe 10, 12. Last game we had 20. I think we're really finding each other and very unselfish, and our guys are starting to really play to their strengths, and that was a terrific play by Noah, as well as Jackson to get out and run. And it says something about the confidence Jackson has in Noah in the sense of, hey, I know he's capable of handling the ball. Most 5 men, the point guard runs up and wants to get the basketball. Right. That's a lot smarter than playing the lob we tried to give Noah later in the game.
You remember that one as well, don't you?
I remember that one. That might be my least favorite play in the game.
Eric asked David what his goals were for the rest of the year. David told us 2 things: championships, CCIW, national. That's what he told us. Yep, those are goals. But you can see where his mind is right now. All about the team, and that's what he's centered on right now. And that was a great answer to a good question.
Yeah, and I believe him.
Yeah.
I mean, there's one thing that I know about David Williams. He is one of the most sincere kids you're going to find anywhere. So I'm so glad we're highlighting him, because oftentimes a senior like him that's kind of in the shadows a little bit, it's nice when he can step up and really get rewarded for all his hard work these years.
Yeah.
And he's such a huge part of our team. Carlo gets his 4th foul. it's great to have a defend. You call on David, and one of the things is 6'2". He can guard so many guys, in our league, because a lot of the fours are perimeter oriented. A lot of nights he can guard 1 through 4, but certainly 1 through 3.
Yeah. Well, it had to feel good to win on a night where you are banged up, tired, just trying to get through this week, and you knock off one of the better teams in this league by 20 points with a chance to rest just a little bit before next week.
Yeah, like I said, I thought we looked tired yesterday in practice, so I was a little concerned with what kind of energy we brought. I'm really pleased with our guys playing as hard as they did, and now we get a little extra rest and get guys healthy. One thing I love is embracing the grind of the season, and we're in that, and it's nice to kind of we'll get an extra day off. Our trainer, Rachel Dawson, does an incredible job. She'll help these guys get healthy. I want to give a shout out to Logan Calvin, our strength and conditioning coach. Has there been a game that we haven't been the more physically gifted? I mean, that is a real strength of ours. Logan does an incredible job. And then I want to shout out to the Eric and Joel Day.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you guys for everything. You said we can't lose.
I said
on
that.
Eric Stock, Joel Swanson Day.
And you said that you would bring your A game, and you delivered, and I'm grateful for that.
Well, I that was well-deserved recognition. I really appreciate it, but I know that the whole Titan community really appreciates you guys and the commitment. You guys go above and beyond. You are first class in everything you do, and I just feel very fortunate to be part of a team with you guys, so thank you.
And, Coach, both Eric and I would like to shout out our wives, Joy and Kathy, for letting us do this. Absolutely, yeah. They're really the reason they should get these awards, Coach. Yeah, absolutely. So,
that is for sure.
Just for putting up with us.
Well, yeah, you guys have definitely outdid yourselves. And,
yes, no doubt about that.
With marrying those two.
I'll kick their coverage to use a football reference, but they become a part of the Titan family that you have helped foster over these last 20 years, and it's why it's a labor of love for us.
Yeah.
Isn't that fun, though?
And my son's down there on the bench today, and Caleb's working here, and Anna's at the game. So, yeah, my family has grown up with Titan basketball. I really appreciate that.
Well, the play-by-play by Tyler when he was in kindergarten. I have that saved.
That's awesome.
I hope we have a few more years before we're replaced by Tyler Swanson and probably ChatGPT for me. So probably is what we're guessing.
Well, you guys are the best. Your families are the best. We love having you guys as part of the Titan family, and thanks for everything you do.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Coach, very much. Coach Ron Rose joining us here on the post game as the Titans are victorious. 79-59 the final. We'll quick look at the final numbers in this Titan victory. Mason Funk led them with 24 points, 10 rebounds. Kaysen Lawrence with 15 points. Carlo Kolak, 15 points, 7 boards. Noah Cleveland, a double-double, 12 points, 10 rebounds. Brady Ruggles with 6. David Williams with 5 points, 5 boards, and a couple of steals. Jackson Nego had 2, while Nathan Bolt, Brady Keel, and Connor Williams did not score. North Park had 3 in double figures, led by Colden Van Landingham with 18 points. Marquise Vance had 10. Mike Vukovic had 10 as well. Ja'Kai Gray had 6. Julian Campbell, 5 points, 7 rebounds. Jerome Smith Jr. 3, Tyven Garrison 3, Lavario Cornish 2, Anari Thomas and Dylan Fuzak did not score. Titans shot 49% from the field for the game, 12 of 26 from 3 for 46%, 13 of 20 at the line for 65%. North Park just 32% from the floor for the game, 19 of 59, and only 5 of 29 from three-point range for 17%, 16 of 22 from the free throw line for 73%. Titans won the rebounding battle by 3, 40-37. Titans had 17 turnovers, while the Vikings had 16. In other league action, looks like we've had some games go final. Carroll holds off Milliken by 2, 67-65. Elmhurst downs Augustana 77-64. And Wheaton clips North Central 72-71. And the Titan women got their win earlier today, 77-39. So finally a chance for the Titans to take a breath and get ready for Wheaton 1 week from tonight.
Yeah, certainly one of the better games we've seen the Titans play all year, especially on the defensive end. Good win for Illinois Wesleyan. Take a little bit of a week break here and take on the Thunder of Wheaton. Boy, what a nice home stretch, Eric. Boy, the Titans really played well, and this team is really starting to come together at the right time.
We'll come to you next Saturday from King Arena at 7 while the women host Milliken here on Wednesday night. We'll talk to you from King Arena at 7 p.m. next Saturday. For Joel Swanson, I'm Eric Stock saying so long from Shirk Center. Again, our final score, Illinois Wesleyan 79, North Park 59. This has been Titan Basketball on 88.1 FM, WBSN, IWSports.com, and the CCIW Network.